My hand's stable, I feel able to turn the tables. I could do this, just keep moving, keep your hands up, stupid. I feel lucid, a new viewing. I can see the end, I can see my future, I can view it. It's right there for the taking. Everything I've ever wanted, dreams are just waiting. I just gotta fight for it, willing to die for it, willing to like soreness, I just need to hike for it. I'm standing up 'cause I've had enough. I won't give up on the chance. As long as I'm breathing, I'm not retreating. I could be bleeding, I'll take a beating and keep on proceeding. I'm not fatiguing, 'cause once I enter the ring, I'll be undefeated. I got everything I need to be the greatest I could be. Watch out, I'm here now. Big mood, no doubts. Big moves, big mouth. Hit hard, knockout. I come from a different pedigree. Destiny don't mean anything. I make everything in my life come to life. Manifest, see the light. Intuition be my guide. This is how I have survived. I'm standing up 'cause I've had enough. I won't give up on the chance. As long as I'm breathing, I'm not retreating. I could be bleeding, I'll take a beating and keep on proceeding. I'm not fatiguing, 'cause once I enter the ring, I'll be undefeated.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, kick butt open,
What up?
baby.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Good.
Ready to get the show started.
That's it. Well, I'm glad everybody can join us tonight. I want to get into a bit of a topic tonight that, to be fair, has my freaking blood boiling. And
Has
it
a
has
right
my
to be.
blood boiling for many reasons. Many reasons. And one personal reason involved in it as well. So let me start by saying that tonight's live is completely about, I won't even call him a gentleman. It is a person by the name of Michael Dula. And he runs the channel on YouTube called Paranormal After Dark, which was formerly known as Paranormal Invite. So what I'm going to say about this guy is, first and foremost, this guy, we're not saying that this guy has not been exposed before, because he has multiple times. Tonight's live is to ask the question, why is he still here? And why is this man able to do what he's doing? So firstly, this guy, Michael Dula, who runs Paranormal After Dark, is 100% a registered, convicted sex offender. He is on the register. He has 10 years on the sex offenders database now that he's been released from prison. He has sexual offences regarding a 6-year-old child, which happens to be his daughter, and a 14-year-old child. And this man runs a paranormal channel claiming to get in touch with the spirits of missing children. And he is monetized, making money off of exploiting missing children's cases. Not only does this man think that it's okay to commit the crimes that he has, to receive the convictions that he has, and take away children's innocence those ways, he now seems to think it's appropriate for him to run a monetized channel extorting missing children's cases. For what? You're monetized. You're making money off of the back of missing children's cases. And it's not even reporting on missing children's cases. You're making a damn mockery out of missing children's cases. That's just my opinion. But what you are doing is twisted. Now, on your community page, you've said, oh, the money's going to go to charity and I'm going to show that I don't make very much money. I don't care if you're making $20 damn dollars. Do not care. Is $20 damn dollars too much? Because you should not be on a platform like this. You're no advocate for missing damn children or the innocence of children. You're a registered sex offender. You know nothing about the innocence, purity of children. You proved that the minute you committed your damn crimes. So don't sit there and tell me you're doing this for the kids. You're doing this for other people. You're doing it for awareness. You're making money off of exploiting missing kids' cases. And it is absolutely vile. Hey, Inc. Welcome in, everyone. Sorry, I'm going to be on a bit of a rant tonight with this one. So
good.
if we're able to firstly, Jenna, are you able to firstly, so we can show exactly who we're speaking about and the fact that this person is convicted?
Yes, I'm just waiting for you to tell me to pull it up.
If you can pull up his convictions, please, that would
All
be
right.
appreciated.
All right.
So like I said, this gentleman is a convicted sex offender who is on YouTube making money from missing children's cases, claiming to speak to the spirit of missing children, making a complete farce out of it. And this is just my opinion. If you're of light, then you will be able to reach something as pure as an innocent child of light. But if you're of dark, the amount of light, of protection that would surround an innocent light like that would never be touched by someone like you. So do I believe for 1 second what you're putting out there on your paranormal channel? Not for one iota of a damn second. Just my opinion. So as you'll see here, on this is Michael Dula, who runs Paranormal After Dark. And his first victim was a 6-year-old child, like I said, who happens to also be his daughter. He was charged with indecent liberties with a minor with that charge. And victim 2 was 14 years old. He was charged with 2nd-degree sexual exploitation of a minor and 3rd-degree aiding and abetting. He was jailed to Caldwell County Detention Centre under a $150,000 security bond. He was convicted on the 7th of the 27th, 2017. He was released on the 3rd of the 13th, 2018. He was convicted of all of these 3 charges. He was placed on the sex offenders registry for 10 years and is not due to be released from that registry until the 27th of July 2027. Now, to let you understand, even when his victim was 14 years old, this guy was 34 years old. Grown-ass man who should have known damn better. And these are some of the clips from the newspaper articles that were shown about him. You just need to put his name into Google, and there is newspaper articles there linking everything. Hey, Midnight, I've sent you the link, honey. So all these newspaper articles show you exactly what he was convicted of. That's his full information on the sex offenders register. And this man is sitting on YouTube making money from missing children's cases, claiming to speak to the spirit of missing children. How many more ways does this guy want to tarnish the innocence of missing children? Now, this piece of shit, I'm just going to say it how it is, this absolute piece of shit made a video that used to be on his page, which has now been deleted, trying to justify and explain his side, trying to rationalise how he's the innocent party in this. This guy still to this day is manipulating and grooming adults, because he's manipulating these adults into believing that he's been wronged, that he's the one in the wrong, that he's the one who has been wrongly convicted, that he's innocent, that he's got a big file, yay big, and he can show that to anyone. And he even makes the comment that I've got such a big file that proves everything that I'm saying, and if you were really convicted, you would never show this file. Well, we've just seen the sex offenders register. The facts speaks for themselves, Michael Dula. You're on the register. A court found you guilty of all 3 charges, sentenced you to prison, and put you on the sex offenders register for 10 damn years, which simply isn't damn long enough. However, that's a different argument.
Yes, it is.
And you're sitting there justifying this, justifying it by whitewashing it. Oh, I've got a file that I can show that. I mean, if you were really guilty, you wouldn't show it. Are you serious? Are people falling for this shit? In fact, I don't even need to ask that question, because I know people are falling for that shit. People are being manipulated by this guy into believing that this guy has either been set up, wronged, or he just didn't have enough money for a lawyer. Well, I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter how poor you are. If you cannot afford a defence attorney, one will be court appointed to you, I do believe.
That is correct.
So,
And did he not
Correct.
plead guilty?
yes.
So
Yes,
whether
he
you have an
did.
attorney or not, you
An
don't
innocent
plead
man don't plead guilty.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You name me one innocent man out there. You name me one man out there who will willingly take a guilty plea to a sexual offence when they have not committed the crime, knowing that they would carry that label for the rest of their damn life. No, I don't think so. I really, really don't think so. He is using love bombing, emotional manipulation, guilt tactics towards all of his damn subs to try and convince them and push the narrative that he's been wronged. He's the victim in all this. Don't think so. He even goes on to try and blame the victims. He also tries to blame his arrest on 4 different females that he was juggling at the time, let's just say. And he claims that these four females all knew about each other. And he was set up by all these females. But if you listen to what his narrative is, he then contradicts himself multiple times over, because he goes on in his own words later to then admit how he made contact with the 14-year-old kid. He
And
goes
how
on to
he-
admit it.
How he tried to talk her out of sending him photos.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm being such the good guy. I try to do the right thing. No, you really didn't. You really, really didn't. Now, you, Michael Dula, made the claim that the females that you were dating, one of them set you up by putting, this was one of your explanations. You tried to claim that this 14-year-old girl's own mother put the image onto your phone of her own child to set you up. Well, I'm sorry, but speaking as myself as a mother, you would not share an indecent image of your own damn child to set somebody else up. Are you fucking serious? And if that was the case, it would have been proven in court. Was it proven in court? No, it wasn't. You were proven to be guilty. That's the facts.
Yep, there would definitely be a digital footprint that he could show that someone else loaded that on his phone.
100%. 100%. Do not ever blame the damn victim. It's an
That
absolute
and
cop out.
it doesn't explain why his own child was on there.
No, it doesn't. He did try to make a claim that the images, videos, whatever that he was charged with regarding his child were of an innocent moment. Well, I'm sorry, but in the eyes of the law, they didn't look at it that way. And I'm pretty sure they would have weighed up the evidence to decide, and where all that stood. And they decided you were damn guilty. Simple as that. You were found guilty of all the damn charges. But this guy's so narcissistic that he ends up belittling his crimes with a 14-year-old child. And, he belittles it so much by claiming that what happened with what he did with the 14-year-old child is no different to somebody peeing outside. No different. Tarnishing the innocence of a child is no fucking different, in this guy's opinion, than taking the innocence of a damn child, than peeing outside. His words.
Fuck. Sorry, I'm having a hard time keeping my mouth shut.
That's what this guy seems to think, that it's no different.
You don't have to keep your mouth shut. Good to know. Go ahead and say what you
No,
got to say.
yeah, say what you've got to say.
This-
CJ, which thing on his channel did you want me to pull up?
I'll do that in a second.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, say
Yeah.
what you've got to say.
So, first of all, let's do this. Let's call this motherfucker exactly what he is. He's a parasite. He's a parasite. He's not a man. He's not a person. He's a parasite. Number one.
Mhm.
Number
Who is a
two,
very
just the
bad
fact that
actor,
this.
I must say.
What's that?
Exactly.
I said he's a very bad actor as well.
Yes,
Fake tears
right?
can go away.
I super chance to cry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All for
Number
sympathy.
two. Yep. Number two, the fact that they allow him, or any parasite for that matter, to be on a sex offender registry for only a certain amount of time is bullshit. It's garbage, and that's not what it's about. He is a sex offender for the rest of his life. He should have to wear that badge for the rest of their fucking lives.
Amen.
Period.
Just like that child has to carry that burden the rest of their life.
Yes.
Exactly.
Just like that badge of being a victim I have to carry every single day in my life. Because not even God himself can take that away from me.
Yeah.
But yet, the judicial system can take that away from him? No. He's still a parasite. He'll always be a parasite.
Yeah. It's very true
And
saying
the
when
fact
these
that he's
people get to come off the register, they get to walk away from the register at the end of that 10 damn years. But what about the victims? Do they get to check out at the end of 10 damn years?
Nope.
exactly. There's no judicial system or judge that says, okay, Mr. Get to Know, you're only going to be a victim for 10 years. So as soon as you sign this list, as soon as you sign up on this piece of paper, you will then start your time. And as soon as 10 years is up, you're no longer going to be a sexually abused victim. I didn't get that opportunity. That's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. This world has especially the United States has become so weak-hearted when it comes to certain shit that it's almost gone beyond repair. Like, we're so worried about what other people are going to think about us, or what other people are going to say about us, or offending this person or offending that person. Fuck that shit. This man, this parasite, is worthless trash garbage. Is what he is.
Yes, he
And
is.
he should wear that badge for the rest of his fucking pathetic life. Period. Sorry, but that's exactly how I feel about it.
Don't be
Exactly.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Completely agree. I think what makes it
I'm
worse
shaking.
is, despite the comment that he made regarding the 14-year-old, I think for me, what makes it worse, and we'll play a clip in a second, which will confirm everything that we've said, from his own mouth. But what I will say is, this absolute piece of shit pawn scum made the comment in this audio that I have, where he makes the claim that children who come forward with allegations really aren't credible.
Give him the facts there. Get to know. What is the statistics? What are the statistics?
Mm-hmm.
If a child from the age of 4 down comes to you and tells you that somebody's messing around with them, it is a 99.97% chance that that child is telling the truth. If a child from the ages of 12 to 4 comes to you and tells you that they are being sexually abused or someone is fucking around with them, it drops a little bit. It goes down to a 99.93% chance that that child is telling the truth. If a person comes to you at all in their lifetime, regardless of age, okay? Listen to this. If a person comes to you regardless of age, it goes from 99% down to 84% chance that that person has been fucked with at some point in time in their life. People don't lie about this shit, especially children. If a child tells you that, it's the truth. There's a 0.01% chance that a child who tells you that they've been victimized has not been victimized, and they're lying about it. And that is because somebody has put them up to telling them that. Period.
Yep.
Look it up yourself if you don't believe it. That's how it is.
Yep.
That's the fucking facts.
No, I completely agree. Completely agree. I mean, this guy turns around and says that he makes the comment, this is how twisted he is, trying to sort of excuse his behaviour or make it known that he's innocent in his opinion. He turns around and says that if you want to set somebody up, just grab a hold of a friend with a kid. Get the kid to state that somebody touches them, and as long as the kid sticks to that story, then it's a done deal. You're screwed. That's what this vile, sick, twisted asswipe believes.
And I guarantee,
now, what does that
whether
do
you
for
want to
every
believe it
damn
or not,
victim?
sorry.
No,
Yeah.
on you go.
Whether anybody wants to believe me or not, I guarantee you, man. I guarantee you that he is currently victimizing some child somewhere, whether it be in person, the internet. That is what they do. There is not a cure for what they do. The only cure is to lock them up, put them away, or execute them. for life. Period.
Yeah.
And you will hear in the clip where he states that he still is able to have contact with his children.
It's fucking
So,
pathetic.
Yeah. And again, that's a whole different battle where we're fighting the justice system to make a lot of changes.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen overnight. But this guy has so many excuses. And to sit there and even dare to place the blame onto a child, to even put a narrative out there on a public platform, which is what he did at the time, and then make it out that children should not be believed because you never know when you're being set up. I'm sorry, but that is vile. Each and every time a child comes forward, they should be believed. Each and every damn time. And if you do not believe a child when they come forward the first time, shame on
You. Period.
And that child, I would hope, keeps asking and fighting and speaking and telling their story until they find someone who will surround them with nothing but love and belief and support. Because every
Yep.
child deserves the right to be believed, to be heard, and to get justice.
Absolutely. I know for a fact, personally, at least 5 different people that I've met through YouTube, and one personally that I know, okay, that went and said something to somebody and they did not believe them, and it destroyed them even further. And they are still battling the demons that came with that because they didn't speak back up about it, and the abuse continued on. So if you're one of those people that don't believe somebody, especially a child, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
100%. No, I completely agree. Completely agree. The fact that this guy has a public platform where he's able to have put that narrative out that he's even innocent in the first place when he's not, the records show that he's not, and to even try and make out that children should not be believed if they come forward. He even goes on to try and victim blame the 14-year-old, saying that this was all the 14-year-old who made the first moves and she was being promiscuous and she was sending pictures to other people. Let's get one thing damn straight. I don't care what anybody else's opinion on this. This is where I stand on this, right? I do not care what your opinion is, Michael Dula. I'm telling you straight. If you're a minor child, whatever decisions that child is making because they're a minor is not ever going to be a fully informed decision. Why? Because they're a minor child who does not hold the capacity as of yet to make informed decisions for themselves. So I do not care if a child is standing in front of somebody butt-ass naked.
Yep.
No adult has a right to take advantage of that. No adult has a right to manipulate a child into sending images. No adult has the right to say, oh, well, she's done it before, she can do it with me, she can send this, she can... No, it's your duty of damn care as an adult to step up, protect her, and say, no, not can I have a picture? You're twisted. I do not care whether a child is making wrong choices or mistakes online by doing things or not. And I seriously doubt that was the case. But say there was a situation like that, I still do not care. A child is a child. You are the adult. If a child is showing any behaviours that you're concerned about, it is your duty of responsibilities of a damn adult to protect that child. But you became part of the damn problem, didn't you, Michael? And you still want to pin the blame on the victims. The children, the 6-year-old and the 14-year-old hold no responsibility in this whatsoever.
And let me point this out. The kind of parasite he is, okay? I don't remember the exact numbers. Sorry, I got billions of them in my head at all the time when it comes to this kind of stuff. But it's somewhere around less than 19%, I believe, of parasites that victimize a child. It's their own child that they victimize. So over 80% of all parasites won't even touch their own child. It takes a very certain specific kind of parasite to do that to their own flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
They have a certain sickness, certain whatever the depravation, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that sets them aside from even, I don't even want to say it, but normal parasites. You know what I mean? Like they're a total different subcategory from what a parasite is. Even parasites, normal parasites, don't look at parasites that molest their own children like they're human beings. He's a specific kind of disgusting pig.
Now, I know this may just be splitting hairs here, but is this just parental? Is that statistics for just, parents doing it? Because I know there's a lot of family members that, they do say that there's a lot of those, like aunt, uncles, whatever.
No, we're talking biological parents to molest their own children. It's like less than 19% of all of them have, you know what I mean? Will molest their own children.
Okay.
It's extremely low.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a parent to molest their own biological child is a certain kind of disgusting pig.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what he is, and that's what people support.
Yep. And any type of images or videos of a child which are classed under the legal terminology of child pornography, I'm sorry, but there is no justifying that. You cannot sit there and give me any reason as to why that happened. None. You're a parent. You've took advantage of your child. You've took advantage of a 14-year-old, and you have taken images that you have been able to gain some form of sick gratification from, and you have then went on to be prosecuted for. There's no sugarcoating that. You're guilty of those crimes, but yet you're running a public platform where you put out videos, claim to speak to innocent missing children in spirit, and you're making money from this. Well, I'm sorry, but no dark light such as you would ever be able to reach the spirit of an innocent damn child.
No fucking way. his whole get up is fucking bullshit.
Yep, light will rebuke darkness every single damn time.
Yep. It don't matter how small that light is, it'll always shine brighter than the darkest of dark. That's for damn sure.
100% each and every damn time. So you are making a mockery, in my opinion, of these cases of missing children for financial gain. Each of your videos, everything's monetized where you are getting something. And like I said, I don't care if it's $20. The fact that he's earning anything and he's been allowed on a public platform to keep doing this when YouTube aren't daft, everybody knows who he is and what he's done. He's been reported multiple times, but yet nothing changes. He's still here. Why? There's something needs to change in the damn system when it comes to social media that allows these people on platforms. It's not the child's responsibility. Like I said, they make silly choices to go on social media platforms sometimes, especially when they're underage. Kids do lie and say they're overage and go on media platforms that they shouldn't. It's always going to be the duty of care and responsibility of the damn adult, if they come across a child, to protect that damn child. If you're not going to be part of the solution, you're part of the damn problem.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Preach it. Fucking preach it out, CJ. No shit. That's exactly how it is, you guys.
Yep. Now, at the end of the day, these social media platforms need to get their shit together, because when you're seeing people like this still on platforms making money, doing what they're doing, when they're blatantly, obviously a convicted sex offender, and these platforms are being given the heads up multiple times over and still doing nothing about it, then we have a bigger damn problem.
Well, see now I don't know exactly which platforms they are. I know Facebook, they're not supposed to. If you can find them, you can report them. They're supposed to take them off. But so far, if anybody here, if they could do a favor real quick, if whoever has Instagram, will you go see if you can find Michael Dula or Paranormal After Dark, whatever his fucking channel is, on Instagram? Because so far, from what I see, Instagram is the only one that specifically says registered sex offenders are not allowed on the platform.
Yep.
So
Well,
the other
YouTube is not supposed to as well. And they also have already taken his previous channel down. My understanding.
Okay.
So
Okay. So
he's back up again, and I'm not sure why. If he's got it under somebody else's name or something, I don't know. But he's definitely had his face on there, and they're supposed to do the facial recognition. You know, they're supposed to be able to identify a person by their face.
Yeah, his last channel got shut down because he did get reported. Because he got
and this one's been reported as well, but they haven't taken it down. So this is following the feed of YouTube.
Now, I also know that as a registered sex offender, it's against the terms and conditions of your registry, of your agreement. You agree to not be on social media platforms. So here's what we need to do. This is straight up. Here's what we need to do. Everybody in this fucking chat, everybody on this channel, we need to call where he's on the registry at. We need to call that probation office. We need to call the Department of Justice and report his ass. We need to flood the phone lines on this dude. No bullshit. We will force them to listen to us. What he is doing is he is being non-compliant of his sex offender registry agreement that he agreed upon. That's what he's breaking the fucking law. Every video he puts out, he's breaking the law. Period. They're not supposed to have access to the internet, let alone have a YouTube channel or an Instagram or a TikTok or whatever the social media you want to put out there. They're not supposed to be on it. That's what we need to do.
He's got to have a probation officer, right?
Yeah.
No. See, there's another thing.
No.
I'm glad this got brought up, because this is one thing that Get to Know is definitely trying to get changed, and we're fighting for it. But once a person is released off of their parole or probation, if they have to register for 10 years and they've only got 5 years of probation, on year 5, they get released off probation. They no longer have anybody to look over top of them to keep them compliant on the sex offender registry. There is no department in any city, in any state in the United States of America that has a department that is designed to go after non-compliant sex offenders. For me, non-compliance means they are doing something they are not supposed to be doing. So that is breaking the terms and conditions of their of being a registered sex offender. That is illegal. It is breaking the fucking law. But they won't. They won't go after him because, and I quote from a police officer in not in my town, but in the town that my abuser lives in. When he was non-compliant, I called and he basically laughed at me and he said, "Well, we don't have the time to go and watch after all these people. Good luck with your mission." Basically, click. If we flood the phone lines to wherever he is at, they will have to listen to us. We have to start holding these judges, these prosecuting attorneys, and these people that we think are out there to help keep us safe and protected, it's time for us to hold them fucking accountable for what damage they are doing to this country and the children in this country and everybody that is a free citizen in this country. Period. It's time we stand together on this and make a fucking change before it's too late. And it's coming. It's coming. It's almost too late. Pretty soon it will be okay for anybody to have sexual relations with any fucking buddy or anything they want, regardless of whether the morals are there or not. That's the direction this country's heading, and I'll stand alone trying to change it. But I will not hold my tongue. I will not do it any longer. Go ahead. Sorry, CJ.
No, we've all got to stand to make a change. We've got people like Poor Dirt Farmer going about saying that it's okay to reduce the age of consent down to 13. We've got people like Dan going around the community and other communities where he's speaking inappropriately to minor children, and he believes that it's absolutely fine, and then accuses everybody else of being the trolls and the paedophiles and everything else. And then we've got people like Michael Dula, who is making money from missing children's cases. Like, how low do you want to go? I mean, that is absolutely twisted. And all these social media platforms need to get themselves into damn check. You know, these people, they're not making it easy for these people to be reported. And it's easier to report somebody for harassment on than it is to be able to notify a app or social media platform that it's a sex offender. We've all got a right to be protected by keeping our information and ourselves and what we say and do online safe from people like this also. And yeah, when we come on to public platforms, I get it, it's public. But when we do see somebody like this, we've got a choice whether we want to be around somebody like that or we don't. This is where we put our own moral compasses in check. And what I can't understand is why this guy has so many subscribers sitting watching these damn videos, endorsing this. You're financially lining the damn pockets of a sex offender. How does that sit with you? Yeah. Like, where,
can you, is there a way we can drop his link? Or we need to do something to put the information out, because Savannah's down there trying to find his page so, you know, she can report, and they're not able to find it.
Yep.
We just want to make sure it's the right page. We don't want to have somebody who's, you know, not him getting reported. You know, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick it in there.
And I think we could probably make a post for your community page.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the information and who to call. We'll look that up, and
yep.
You know, if anybody wants to do that.
Page, we'll put the information out there on who crimes like this can be reported to, where do we report it, how do we report it. We'll potentially do another live on that in the future in terms of, like,
that's a good idea.
Do we report this stuff to? What do we do with this information when we find it, and how do we keep ourselves safe with that information when we get our hands on it? You know.
Yeah. You can send me the information too. I'll put it on my page. I'll even make it short about him. Straight up.
Yeah,
no bullshit.
That's fantastic. As I said, we've got to start making a change, and we've got to start doing something that takes a stand against what is going on. Because I'm sorry, but my moral compass says it is sick and twisted for somebody who is a convicted sexual offender to be making money from missing children. Like, that is just so wrong.
Yeah, no matter what country we're from, whether we're from the US or the UK or Scotland or Ireland, it don't matter what country we're from. It's time we stand together as one on something, and because it's coming, it's everywhere. It's in every country. It's getting worse and worse and worse as we go from first world, second world, third world countries. You know what I mean? And the scariest thing about it all is the people that are in positions of power that we put in charge of to run our countries. They're the ones that are allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
Or they're doing it legitimately.
Oh yeah,
So
we
it's the time's now. The
It
time's
is.
now that we need to stand
It's
together as one united front and say, "Fuck this! We're not going to accept it any longer."
100%. Can we just play the clip which actually shows from this guy's own mouth? This is from Michael Dulla's own words, which have been clipped and have been able to get a hold of, that shows from his own mouth him not only blaming his victims but trying to justify why he feels he's innocent.
Yeah, let me get him pulled up.
Because this guy is sitting here saying that if a victim comes forward, they shouldn't be believed. If a child comes forward, they should not be believed, is what this guy is saying. He is saying
Oh
that
yeah.
all somebody has to do to set someone up is go grab somebody with a child, get that child to lie and say that they've been abused, get them to stick to that story, and then that person's life's screwed. That's the narrative this guy is publicly putting out on a public monetized platform. Now, yes, he has since deleted that live, probably because he gets screwed right over for it. But it has been clipped. And like I said, the fact that he is leading this narrative, absolutely sickening.
All right, I'm gonna mute while I play it. You want me to play them all together? You just want to play one and then you talk, one and then you talk?
Yeah.
Just one. Okay, Jenna, if you're muting and then playing it, we're not going to be able to hear it. Just saying. Okay, just put it on screen. I was like, oh, I hope he's not playing it through her device.
Midnight, grab the link if you're free, honey.
You see, I'm still allowed to be around my kids. About having a 3-year-old daughter in the bathtub, my daughter in the bathtub. 4 different women that were very jealous and loading one of their daughter's pictures up on my phone. I mean, see my kids. I'm still allowed to be around my kids. About having a 3-year-old daughter in the bathtub, my daughter in the bathtub. 4 different women that were very jealous and loading one of their daughter's pictures up on my phone. I mean,
Yeah. So, like I said, as you'll hear there, he's talking about having pictures of his 3-year-old in a bathtub. His offences were against the 6-year-old, so I'm not sure where he's coming up with the 3-year-old, or if that's something else or what. But like I said, he's trying to justify it as some sort of innocent picture of his child and all the rest of it. Well, if you look up the offences laws and you look under child pornography, when you're being charged with or being prosecuted with any offence, including that, there's actually a subsection in there that will tell you that they take into account if it is family pictures. If it is family pictures that are of an album when your child was, say, 1 year old and in the bathtub or something like that, they will take that into account in certain circumstances. So they have obviously looked at those things and they have been able to determine that what you had was obviously of a higher level than what you are claiming to be an innocent damn picture, to the level that they have been able to prosecute you for that. So what's your answer now, Michael? Just asking. You'll see him next get on in the next clips as well, where he goes on to start to victim blame the 14-year-old.
what I do as a passion for all my viewers, as far as loved ones, trying to reach out to find missing summer, has nothing to do with my past life. And I started in on Summer's case, and then Benny Keys seen that I was getting a lot of attention off of Summer. We all know who Benny Keys is. Benny Keys set somebody else information on me in my past. Which, yeah, that guy's a punk, but what he done was he hindered me for the simple fact that he brought something out that was private. And I'm just going to be quite frank, and you all got the choice to leave or you all got the choice to stay. That's totally up to y'all. After I get done with this, the video will probably be took down because I don't want all the reactors to react to this video. That's the only thing that was on my record was a traffic ticket. Failure to pay the traffic ticket. It was $320. So they locked me up for that. And I was locked up for about 2 weeks. And I left my phone in one of the girls' cars. Big mistake, but you know, I didn't have nothing to hide. Your old spirits.
You tell me.
Yep. So again, like you'll see, he love bombs his supporters. He thanks them. All of this way that he has a way of putting it towards all his supporters to say, you know, it's sort of flattery and love bombing and all this thanking of subs for having his back. And, you know, what that does is psychologically it puts into these subscribers' heads that I now owe you something back. You know, I need to be loyal to you. You know, you're doing this for me by coming to YouTube and reaching out to these spirits of innocent children. You're doing this for us, so let us give this back to you. Well, yous are handing money by watching his content on a monetized channel. You're lining the damn pockets of a sex offender. Whatever way he wants to whitewash this and say that he's got this little file, that why would he be so open and want to show this to anybody who wants to see it if he was convicted? Well, you are convicted. That's been proven. Your sex offenders registry information is there. We've shown it. We'll show it again. And you continue to lead a narrative of, well, my little file here says that I'm innocent. Well, I'm sorry, your little file is about as much use as the toilet paper that wipes my damn ass. That's as much use as your file is. Because a court of law, a justice system, has found you guilty. Simple as that. Go on to the next one, Jenna. Jenna.
If we run background checks on everybody that was on this channel, my God, I think it would probably come out.
I'm gonna pull the next one because that was just a 12-second one.
Yeah, what he was trying to do there is claim that if you background checked everybody, we'd all probably be surprised. And what he's trying to do there is play a game. He's playing mind games. He's trying to put into people's damn heads that, you know, we've all made mistakes. We've all screwed up. We've all done different things. So why should I be getting penalised? Well, I'm sorry, but there's a big damn difference to what other people do than actually being a registered sex offender. So don't try to deflect from the crimes that you've committed your damn self by whitewashing it with what other people do in their damn lives. Okay? Because if they're a registered sex offender also, they're going to be treated the same. If they're not, there's no damn comparison. So sit down, shut the fuck up. Excuse my French. You got the next one, Jenna? Hey, Dark Dragon. Hey, sweetheart.
Smack the girls know who weird. Was it their fault? Nah, it's my fault. I should have been player. Thank you for wanting to continue watching my channel.
Yeah, just play the next one, Jenna. Hey, Fancy Glam. Hey, beautiful. Is that them, Jenna? Is there more there? Yeah. Losing track.
I'm gonna keep trying to reach out to loved ones, guys. Honestly, if you guys want to see my papers, guys, they're about this thick. Nobody ever shows those papers if they're really convicted. There's so many ways to catch this charge, and once you get into it, there's no way out. There is no way out, guys. Now, I'm not.
No way out because you're
Like I
guilty.
said, I'm not taking up for pedophiles. I'm not taking up for people that molest children. I'm not taking up for none of that. I understand why the world is the way the world is. But instead of posting that, they could have come to me first and said, "Hey, this is an accusation I want to ask you about." Instead of posting it, you guys, if you have a friend or you know someone and you have a kid and you want to set them up, have your kid say that they touched them or they mess with them, and as long as your kid sticks to that, you know, it's a done deal. She said, I tried to, it's a 14-year-old. She had been sending out pictures. I guess she was at that age. She had been sending out pictures to God knows who around the world. We actually even called him the sheriff one time. And the sheriff said, it's hard to trace these. I think she was on kick. Don't let you. And so she even admitted I tried to stop her from sending pictures. So why would I, try to get pictures of her if I try to stop her?
Hey, Easy Mary.
I think I hit a little too close to home. See, being Keys and Don were friends, and whatever was coming out of this spirit box was really getting to Don. He knew that I was getting close. Guys,
Yep. And again, like I said, that was the part that I explained earlier, where he goes on to say that if you want to set someone up, just get someone with a child, get them to lie and say they've been abused, and then it's game over. So you heard it from his own mouth. This man is sitting on a public platform, using his public platform to tell people not to believe their children when they come forward because it could be a setup. That's what this guy's putting out there.
Well,
that's what this person thinks is normal.
Also important to note at the very end of that clip where he says, you know, oh yeah, Dawn's mad because of what I'm getting out of the spirit box. Continuing the, hey, you have to believe me. You have to listen to what I'm saying because I'm speaking the truth.
Yes.
That's how delusional he is.
Yes, he is. And I'm going to touch on this. I think what makes it a lot more twisted for me anyway, personally, is that not only is he a convicted sex offender, he's running this paranormal channel saying that he's speaking to the spirit of missing children that nobody has ever determined have passed or not passed. And when he's speaking through these spirit boxes, and some of them he is making some very, very vile comments. And it makes me wonder, when you have a convicted sex offender, what his aim is. What's he getting out of it? When you've got things coming through, or that you're putting out there, when you're asking these questions, and they're very sexualized, what are you getting out of this, Michael Dula, is my question. Is it some sort of sick, twisted fantasy? Are you getting off on it? Is it giving you pro tips on, you know, maybe how to get away with something in the future? What is it? Because you're not here for innocent damn children.
I could shine some light on that probably and tell you what it's all about.
And you go, honey.
It's estimated that this parasite makes roughly $45 to $50 a day. Now that don't seem like much. At the end of the month, it's only $1,350 to $1,500 a month, which, you know, some people wouldn't consider that a lot of money. But on a yearly estimated projection, he's making $16,200 to $18,000 a year doing what he's doing. So that's probably a pretty big motivator for him.
Yep. But he claims on his community post that he's taking a lot of hate for being monetized, and it's all going to go to charity. It's all okay, Well, what you're trying to do is you're trying to whitewash your previous crimes by making yourself out to be a damn saint now. Well, I am sorry, Michael Dula. You do not get to erase the crimes that you commit. You could go to the furthest away monastery and become a damn monk. You could serve 50 years as a damn monk. It still ain't going to whitewash your damn crimes.
Nope. Don't change the fact that he did it.
What you are. And it is a sex offender. That is a title you earned by removing the innocence of damn children, by participating with images or videos and whatever. You pay the price for the rest of your damn life by wearing that label. Just the same as those victims have to spend the rest of their life living with what you did. So you don't get to wear a halo now. Sorry, don't work like that.
Amen. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Absolutely sickening that it's been allowed to even build a YouTube channel when he's a convicted offender, and so many people are pointing out who this guy is. And
especially with what his niche is,
Yeah. And for people to be so convinced
that and believe that he is innocent. United States, America, if you don't have the money for a lawyer, they give you a court-appointed lawyer. You don't have to plead guilty if you're not guilty. You'll go to trial.
I'll go to prison.
100%.
I'll go to prison before that. 100%.
Right. You don't sit there and say, "Oh, I just had to plead guilty because I couldn't afford a lawyer." No, they'll give you a court-appointed lawyer. Stop with your bullshit lies. And all the people that's over there believing him, y'all are blind and sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were feeling sorry for him.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I would rather sit in prison knowing that I'm not guilty of something and fight it from inside
Right.
and work my way out than rather convict myself of something, especially these kind of crimes. I might plead guilty to some other crime that I'm not guilty of if it's going to get me out of Lester, you know what I mean? But for these crimes, no fucking way. You couldn't pay me any amount of money to admit to and plead guilty to any kind of sexual charge against anybody when I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Period.
got first
I'll
hand
represent myself.
experience.
Yeah.
We've got first hand experience of this guy manipulating people where he's actually convinced people so well that this little file he's got proves that he's really not guilty. And the only thing that stood between him and walking away from it was the fact that he couldn't afford a defence attorney. He's got people whitewashed, brainwashed. They've drank the damn Kool-Aid. They actually have believed this. His sex offender register is there. It is online. Jenna, can we bring it up again, please?
Yes.
CJ, can you check private chat?
Yep. I mean, this piece of shit is on the database. He's on the sex offenders register. But yet these people are convinced by a tiny little file that he claims means he's innocent, that he couldn't afford a defence attorney. Well, like I said, I might be Scottish, but I'm not fucking stupid. Even I know that in America, if you cannot afford a court-appointed defence attorney, you will be given one by the court. You'll be court-appointed one, sorry, if you cannot afford one by yourself. It's as simple as that.
One will be appointed to you by the court.
Yeah.
Right. It tells you right there, everybody's allowed a lawyer. So think about it. What he says is fucking garbage. If you're an American, if you know anything about what our rights are, if you've ever been arrested, you know that these things that's called the Miranda rights. It says it right there. You have the right to shut your mouth and shut the fuck up and not say anything. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one will be appointed to you by the court. Period. So
100.
think about it. If he's saying he can't afford a lawyer and if he can't afford one, it's called a public defender. That's what their job is. And you would have a lawyer.
Correct.
Yeah.
Period.
Same here in the UK. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you will be given a court-appointed lawyer through the legal aid system, and you will get help that way. Simple as that. You're never left without legal representation. So your excuse, Michael, that, you've got this little file and all of this BS doesn't wash with anyone apart from the people that have drank your damn Kool-Aid. And we've seen firsthand how you have been able to manipulate people into believing that this file is true. That's what you've done.
We have seen firsthand.
People we've seen firsthand believing this to the point that this guy was not only believed by other people that he was innocent. This person believed that this guy was so innocent to the point that they openly welcomed him into a chat where we all were.
Yep.
This guy was added into a chat where we all were, all the glam girls.
Hey,
Jenna,
yeah,
everybody. Yeah, we were all there. And this guy suddenly got added into the chat, and we were told, oh, he gets harassed, and he's had a bit of a hard time, and nobody believes him, and everybody deserves a second chance. What we were not told is the history behind him.
Right.
It took two people all of 5 seconds, if that, to look this guy's name up. And within seconds of looking his name up and finding out who he was immediately removed from the group.
Right.
Now, I can tell you, I'm pretty sure I can speak for all the girls here, and they'll agree with me when I say this. Each and every one of us at that point felt violated.
Yeah, because we had pictures of our children in chat. We had pictures of our family. I mean, it wasn't.
Yes, we had pictures of all those things, and suddenly, because somebody decided that this person was innocent and decided that they wanted to believe in his BS, it got added in. No consideration for anybody else, no heads up over his true history, nothing. But the second we found out and he was removed, it became a question of, oh, well, why did that happen? Well, it happened for a damn reason. It happened for a damn reason.
Can I take a moment to point out, I don't know if y'all caught it or not, he says, well, the police say it's really hard to track it. But then, all within the same few sentences there, he then turns and says, well, she was on kick.
Mm-hmm.
Which is it, Michael Boy? Is it hard to track?
Oh,
Which is,
fuck.
no, you
He
know, they're
does say
very
it
easy
too,
to
doesn't
track. Yes, he does.
Wow. Holy
Or,
shit.
how did you know she was on kick?
Yeah. And we know how these social media platforms work. I've got a good friend of mine in chat who will be able to, if she's able to jump up tonight or whenever, she'll be able to fully help explain the topic on that as well. But I can tell you, the apps like Kick and all the rest of it, the terms and conditions will say, yeah, over 18. Children lie. They want to feel as if they've got some independence and autonomy, and they lie and they set up emails and they do all these things. Like I said earlier, children are not mature enough in their own mind yet to make informed decisions for their damn selves. It's our job as parents to protect them from making those choices, which means we should be checking their apps.
Yep.
We should be keeping on top of what they're doing, checking their phones. A lot of children will scream it's an invasion of privacy. No, it's keeping our children damn safe.
Right.
It's as simple as that. And what parents sometimes fail to realise is that a lot of these apps, within each app, sometimes they have their own separate communication methods, their own chat boxes, their own private inboxes, public chat forums, all these things contained within the app. Parents don't often think to check their children's apps. All these things need checked because sometimes children will go on. But here's the thing, even if you're a 14-year-old child going on there and sharing inappropriate images or not, that still isn't the damn question. It still even isn't the damn issue, because that is a child. Anybody seeing that, viewing that, or participating or encouraging it is the problem. Because what you should be doing if you see something like that is you see it, you report it, you get that child off of that platform, and you get them safe. What you do not do, Michael Dula, is you do not ask for pictures or videos, encourage or entice pictures and videos enough to end up being caught with them on your damn devices, and then end up arrested for it, convicted of it, and sentenced for it. That's what you don't do.
Yeah, can we take a moment and go back to the financial aspect of this? There was
We sure can.
just some. Okay, you want to say what you just found?
Oh, or you can if you want. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like I speak from a first-hand point of view. Like, you know, I mean, I might be just a nobody to somebody's, but you know, I got my ways. But I know firsthand that he does private readings of spirit box sessions and whatnot, and it's usually $50 for a 30-minute spirit box session, a live one with him one-on-one.
What?
And yeah. Mhm.
Well, it gets better.
And
It gets better.
it gets even better. Drum roll, please. Let's get a big old fucking nasty drum roll up in here.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is only a 3-month waiting period to get on the fucking waiting list to get a private reading with him one-on-one for 30 minutes at $50 a session. Sign up today, guys.
Are you serious?
I'm dead.
Yep.
I
There you go.
know personally. Okay.
Wow.
When CJ Mack hit me up yesterday, I put my motherfucking
Mm.
brain to work and I did some shit. And guess what? I know dirt about this motherfucking man that nobody else knows on YouTube. Trust
Yep.
and believe that shit. Fuck around and find out.
Fuck
That's
around
right,
and find
that's
out.
right.
Exactly that.
Fuck around and find out.
Either he takes himself off of fucking YouTube and disappears, or guess what? We'll take you down and you'll disappear off of YouTube. Fuck
Yep.
around and find out.
This scumbag is earning money left and right off of the back of missing children. Not only does this guy want to take the innocence and tarnish the innocence of children through the conviction that he's got, but he wants to tarnish the missing children's cases
How fucking
for
demented is that?
financial gain.
Yeah, well, you know what's really demented? Okay, here's where my mind just went. He's earned these people's trust, right? And they're willing to go and get a private reading, one-on-one. How many of these people have kids?
Mhm.
One of them. I know 2 of them that support him that do have children.
And they're giving them
Yep.
access, guaranteed. I bet you. Oh my
Oh,
God!
Remember what I just said? Remember what I just said a little while ago?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, this parasite is currently grooming somebody's child, preparing somebody's child, getting somebody's child ready to be violated, and he's getting paid to do it. That's $16,000 to $18,000 a year he makes from YouTube. That doesn't include the super chats, the Cash Apps, the Venmos, the PayPals, the private sessions, any of that. That's just for views, people.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the quote-unquote base pay.
And Savannah's hit the nail on the head. It's the grooming and the manipulation of the parents to get to the damn children. And I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. It is 100% you are manipulating adults online to drink your damn Kool-Aid, believe your bullshit, so that what you can get added into private chats where people have got private information and private pictures. Is that the goal? Because you nearly get away with that one until we were a step ahead of you and figured you out.
It didn't take long though.
Like he plays on people's pain and suffering. People who are trying to get closure so they can move on in their fucking lives because their lives are so fucking horrible. They resort to trying to reach out to somebody like him. They're so vulnerable that he plays so much off of that, you guys. Every person that watches his video is a fucking victim of his, dude.
Yep. And you're contributing.
That's how we need to look
You're
at it.
part of the problem. If you're contributing financially, emotionally, in any way to supporting this guy, you are part of the problem. Because
And if
what
you're watching his
doing
shit,
is you're providing
supporting him.
support. Yeah, you're
Yep.
providing support to this asshole. You're giving him a platform to be able to make money off of the back of missing children, to violate these children and their memories, their missing cases, all these different things more. How many more ways does this guy want to violate? And now he's doing it financially and getting off on the things that he's bringing up in his conversations with these spirit box sessions.
Yeah, think
Absolutely
about
twisted.
it. Think about it. That's the twist there. That's the sick twist this motherfucker is doing. oh, you can trust me. See, even children who are quote unquote gone, which we don't have any kind of confirmation of that, but this is his angle, right? Even they trust me enough to
Exactly.
come through and talk to me on a spirit box. Oh my God, he's sick.
Yeah. Well,
Twisted.
like I said, a child is always going to be of white light, 100% white light. No higher force would ever allow a dark energy to get near a white light. So do I believe for 1 second that you have the ability to reach the other side to talk to an innocent, pure child? No, I do not for 1 second, because that white light would be so damn well protected from somebody like you ever being able to make contact. So quit your BS.
Yeah, and gracefully bow out, dude.
No, there's nothing he can do gracefully at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Well,
nothing.
disappear. Just disappear. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just disappear, bro. Legitimately, and you're lucky I'm even calling you bro. You fucking parasite.
These people
And
are
just so you know,
willingly handing their children over
yeah,
to the wolf. Like they don't. They're doing it willingly and they don't even know it. How
yep.
do you get through to people that are that vulnerable and that, you know what I mean? Like, how do you even get through to somebody like that?
I mean, it's
I
really
don't know
sad.
if you can.
These women, and it's mostly women that support this that piece of crap. So this man is basically telling you, if your child comes forward and tells you somebody touched them, don't believe them. Like, are you sick and twisted?
And then blaming his victim, one of his victims, he's blaming them.
There's no
for his
accountability.
actions.
Come on.
No accountability.
None.
That's the worst kind.
None at all. Hey, Ink. Hey, beautiful.
Yeah, there's no rehabilitation done there.
He's
Not that
fine.
they can be, but absolutely not. And he's still in such denial and trying to snow job everybody out there.
If you can't take any sort of kind of accountability for what you did, like, how the fuck can you make yourself better? You can't.
You can't.
No.
You can't. Like the parasite that abused me, I got him to finally admit to him the one time I confronted him. I finally got him to admit to me that he did something. I mean, his answer was fucking grotesque and whatever, but it worked for me because at least he took accountability. Even my abuser had the balls to take some kind of accountability. You know what I mean? So, like, this parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's time we do some work.
To the point they're doing that is absolutely ridiculous. To even begin to earn money off of the back of missing children's cases is so beyond twisted to me. To violate children even more than he already has by doing that, I just can't wrap my head around. And how this is even being allowed by YouTube or any other social media platform like Instagram or wherever else he is, that he is earning money. I mean, we've pointed out how much this guy is roughly earning, how long his waiting list is. He is making money off of all these kids. It is twisted.
Well, I'm tired, right? I am tired. So give me a second to come up with this one. But that question of why is he saying that the daughter was 3 and she wasn't, she was 6?
Mm-hmm.
That's an easy stare in your face right there. Because you know what? You can dismiss taking a picture of your 3-year-old in the bathtub, right? You could.
Yeah.
It's a little harder to dismiss taking a picture of your 6-year-old in the bathtub.
Well, to be honest with you, I haven't seen either one of my children naked since they were about 2.5 years old. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's
so
everyone's choice.
Why the fuck you got pictures of a 6-year-old, man?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's way over the okay dad line. You know what I mean? The okay mom line.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
I know
way
I keep
over.
repeating it. I know I keep repeating it, but for me, I think the biggest statement for me, the biggest impact for me, is the comment that he made stating that if a child ever comes forward, they should not be believed because it could be a setup. If you want to set somebody up, just go and grab somebody with a kid, get them to lie and say they've been abused, and then that's it, your life's over.
That's like
this guy sat in a public platform and created this narrative publicly. He's got subscribers watching this shit in the past that have actually heard this and said it. You know what I mean? How is he even trying to justify that?
Well, I don't understand either why anybody would even fucking believe that shit, because that's like one of the huge red flags is when somebody's trying to sit there and say, don't believe him, don't believe him. That's a huge red flag. So why would you believe that shit? I don't get it. I don't understand why anybody would even believe it. I mean, as soon as he said that out of his mouth, you know, I'm just thinking, oh, whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean not believe somebody? Not believe a child that has come forward.
Right.
A child should be believed each and every damn fucking time.
Yes.
Every time a child comes bloody forward, that child should be believed. And he is sitting up there creating a damn narrative that, nope, just think about it. It could be a setup. How fucking dare you piece of shit.
You know what?
Regardless of who they're saying it was that did it.
I got a little insight on this, okay? Doing foster care, right? We did have situations come in that SA was involved. More than I'd like to even revisit, okay? When I tell you, when there are allegations, they do not take it lightly, okay? They do not just go, oh, you're guilty and throw you in jail either, okay? Yes, they believe the child, but what they do is there's a whole battery of things that happen. There are pictures that are taken. And these poor children are violated again, because that does feel very awkward. Going to a hospital and having to have your pictures taken of all kinds, your whole freaking body. This is what the motherfuckers put these kids through.
Exactly.
Not, you know, and then after that, there's a battery of psychological things that they have to go through. And you know, they confirm this child has been through this. Saying, don't believe this child? Are you shitting me right now? Motherfucker. Yeah. Those kids went through fucking hell all over again because of the shit you fucking did to them. And then you're going to sit here and you're going to re-victimize them again by saying don't fucking believe them? Do you know how many people they had to go in front of for them to get...
I've got to say, one of the worst things, as a victim of it myself, one of the worst things has to be not being believed. By the way, guys,
hey, Midnight.
Hi, Midnight.
Hey, Midnight.
Glad you could jump up, honey.
It's just like I've been so frustrated, like listening all night and just wanting to jump on, but my beloved children weren't allowing me to.
I'm glad you were able to jump up, honey. I'm glad you were able to join. I could sense how frustrated you were getting. Can we stop for a second, though, before I continue to highlight Charlie Girl's last comment? I've pinned it at the top of chat. Charlie Girl has graciously created a petition where it's been generated to ban registered sex offenders from YouTube. So if everybody can take a second to go and click that link, sign the petition and forward it on to as many people as you can, that would be greatly appreciated. And let's try and do something to take a stand to make YouTube take notice that we're not going to allow people like this to sit on platforms manipulating people, vulnerable people, taking advantage of missing children when they're a registered sex offender. So let's get together on this one. Share it as wide as you can. Get it signed.
Yeah,
much appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you, Charlie Girl. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
When
Unfortunately,
I get off, because I can't see chat.
Unfortunately, we can't say, that it's to ban all sex offenders, because if they've not been convicted, then it's kind of hard to prove. But
Yep.
Yeah,
at least
It's
it's a start.
registered sex offenders. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it. It's a start. Even though terms and conditions and lots of different platforms state that you shouldn't be on a platform if you are an offender, they're not monitoring it close enough to be able to keep on top of it and police it the way they need to, which is why people like this
Yeah.
have been able to get away with the shit that they're getting away with.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
really
Well, we
is.
got to
Yeah.
start somewhere, and you got the legalities backed up by being you are a convicted sex offender. We'll start with this, and then we'll work our way to
We
people
don't
like
have
Fat
to
Dan.
prove that they're the offender. We just have to take steps to keep them off of at least this platform.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just
It
saying,
happens
I
quite
just-
a lot on
children.
various different platforms, which
There is.
you see
Yeah.
so
Oh,
many
yeah.
people like getting convicted or like getting arrested and charged, and then like the next day they're back messaging the people that they got charged for messaging or doing it to
Yeah.
other people. It's so frustrating.
See, and
It
that's
is.
what I kind of focus on my channel. Is the legal part of all of this, where we're all failing in our countries is in the judicial system. There's no
Mhm.
there's no justice. These parasites should not be getting plea bargains. I didn't get a plea bargain. There's nothing that can ever change the fact that I'm going to be a victim of this kind of shit for the rest of my life. They shouldn't catch a break and be able to register for a certain amount of time and get off the sex offender
Yeah.
registry. There needs to be a
Completely
department
agree.
that's created. Yes, there needs to be a department created to watch over every one of them in every county.
Yeah.
And it's time. And like, I got some ideas in mind too that I'll get a hold of you guys about for sure. And yeah,
Yeah, of
like
course.
I'd love for all you guys to come up on my channel. Let's talk about this. Let's get this shit out there, you guys.
Yeah.
No matter what, let's make sure we do this, man.
No, definitely.
See, I've
100%.
I've always been of the belief that if you get convicted of being a sex offender, it shouldn't be any of this namby-pamby like 5 years bullshit. If you're a sex offender,
No.
that's not going to change in 5 years' time. You should be on that register for fucking life, and everyone should know it.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
you ever even if you ever get the chance to even get out of fucking prison, most of these parasites should be locked up for life, where they can never get access to a child again. Life
Yeah.
Well,
sentences
over
for
here,
sex crimes,
getting
I'm
them
fully
locked up
behind it.
is over here. Getting them locked up's the challenge in itself. 9
Very
times
much
out of 10, they get
is.
slap on the wrist and please
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yep.
Please don't.
And that
Please
brings
don't molest our
me.
children.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
that sort of
right?
We
leads
think
me
Like,
on to.
get to know we think it's bad here, and then you need to toughen up. Oh, we're tough here compared to how they are over there. It's
Yeah.
sick.
really.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
let's
Sentencing
change it. Let's change it
structure
on the
is.
world. Let's change it on the world front. Not
They
on
don't
the
even
home
Right.
front.
have a
Let's change it on the
registry.
world front.
They need to stop all the way
Yeah.
around.
The sentencing
Yeah.
structure in the UK is disgusting, and in the UK we are not even allowed to be able to access online any convictions of any sex offenders. We're not even entitled to know unless we've got a concern about a person that we're moving in with or we're in a relationship with. Then we can access a certain law to be able to find out if they have any kind of domestic violence or abuse charges. But
Yep.
it's not public access. We cannot go and just search somebody and find out if we're living in the same street as someone or anything like that. We have got no protection that way, and it's very disgusting. Midnight will tell you. Her and I have known each other for a very long time.
Yep.
And we have fought against these kind of people for a damn long time, where we have done
Yep.
what we can to not only raise awareness but to get things changed systematically, and to also get these people locked up. Now, as you'll all be aware, a few weeks ago we had a bit of a confrontation with you'll remember Dan.
Oh gosh.
And yeah.
Yeah.
I just puked in my mouth a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
And Dan decided that he really didn't like CJ, and he really had a thing against women, and he really had a thing against Scottish women. So
Enter midnight.
I thought, what more of a little treat could it be for Dan to have 2 Scottish women? So,
And if you think CJ's bad, you ain't seen nothing yet.
That's what we hear. That's what we hear.
Well,
So
Midnight, you don't sound the way she says you sound, okay? Just say it.
No, she doesn't. Thank God. Thank you, Lord. There is a God out today.
Yes, you don't sound like CJ was trying to portray that you was going to be sounding.
CJ, what did you say about me?
I'll tell you later.
We'll say, yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. We'll tell you later.
I didn't hear shit. I didn't hear shit. I didn't hear shit. I didn't hear shit.
Your voice
But what about, but what I will tell you is that Midnight and I go back a long way, and I've touched on this before in a few places, not spoken very much about it, but we have known each other for a very long time, and we have seen how the UK hunting community works. We know how many of these predators are out there. We have seen from the UK side just how many of these people are stung, which is what we call when people turn up to confront a predator who has been speaking to a child online. And we have seen how many of these people have been caught multiple times over.
Yep.
So we're all about the awareness side now. We're not in that side of it anymore or anything like that.
Nope.
However, we're all about the advocating for awareness and getting the laws changed and things like that now. But
100%.
We've seen firsthand how these people come onto apps where they contact children. They're contacting children. They don't care about the age. They continue to speak in the most inappropriate, vile, disgusting ways. They send the most inappropriate, vile, disgusting images and videos. And they know damn well they're speaking to a child. Now, these people we've seen firsthand child trafficking. We have seen firsthand. Yeah, I'm going there. We have seen firsthand where we have seen somebody speaking to what he believed to be a child online, where he convinced a child to travel miles and miles away from the child's home.
Which was actually closer to his location, his actual location.
Yeah, to entice her to the middle of damn nowhere, to a truck stop in the middle of the night, where he could take her into his long distance lorry truck and take her away.
Sad thing is, she taught us how to do the same thing.
That is exactly what these people are doing online.
Yeah.
I got
They're
a statistic for that if you'd like me to say it.
Manipulating them, convincing them, love bombing them, making them feel as if they're not alone. There's somebody there for them, giving them offers of gifts and love and acceptance and all of these things, and the grooming predatory behaviours that they've got.
Yeah, I also remember hearing about one, like obviously it was a good number of years ago now, where the guy or thing, it's not even a man, it's a thing, actually managed to convince the child that the parents didn't love their parents didn't love them. Their parents had never loved them. They were nothing but basically money. The parents only kept them around because they were getting money for them.
Yep.
Now, obviously, I was a victim when I was younger. CJ knows this. And there's a whole long ass winded story that ends up with my best friend taking her own life at 15 because of it. Now, if like my abuser didn't say that to me, but if I had been told that when I was a child, it would only be her that was 6 feet under.
And I do believe this child was in the foster care system at the time.
Yep.
We got statistics for that too.
And that's why he was manipulating her to believe that she wasn't loved.
Yeah.
And he groomed this child into believing she was so unloved and unwanted that he was the only person that would love her.
Could ever love her, yeah.
And could ever give her anything or do anything for her. And convince this child to meet up with him. This is what these predators are doing online.
Right now.
And then we've got,
we're talking.
Yep. And then we've got people like Dan who want to sit there and say, you know, I'm not a pervert. I'm not this. Well, you're not convicted. I'll grant you that. So I can't call you a sex offender because you haven't been convicted yet.
No, you are a predator with specific interest towards children.
Yes, you're showing predatory behaviours.
I was going to say most definitely a predator.
Yes, you're
Openly.
showing predatory behaviours.
Openly.
Yep, towards children. The comments that you're making, the things that you're saying are predatory behaviours. And then you want to sit there and think you can take me on and convince me that, you know, you're not speaking to any other predators. You don't do that. You only spoke to this one pervert one time at band camp and you found out who he was and you just cut communication. Well, I'm going to laugh my ass off at Midnight's reaction to this when I mention the name Mark Feely. Because
my mic was muted.
Because Mark Feely is
one of the most prolific paedophiles in the UK. Who has been convicted by the police.
How many times was he stung? Midnight?
I lost count at 17.
Yep.
17 times he was confronted for speaking to children inappropriately online. 17 times the police picked him up, put on the whole act of getting him arrested, took him to a different... even at one point, I remember hearing he was actually picked up in a police car, driven round the corner, and let go.
Let go. That's right.
Off you go.
Don't
worry about
you know why?
Absolutely damn terrible. And this guy kept getting onto apps. The first thing that he would do is set up a profile. He would go and speak to children, do what he wanted, and then when he was caught, he would get a slap in the damn wrist, get bailed, get let out immediately again, put on shop orders, which means that he was being watched by police, getting a slap on the wrist, and that was it. It was repetitive. Yep. Absolutely repetitive, and yet the problem lies not only with him, but it lies with the apps. Because despite these people going straight back onto the apps multiple times over, these people get reported immediately when their accounts get flagged up. When the police catch them, when they're convicted, their accounts are immediately shut down, but these people are going straight out and opening up more accounts. Yep. And these apps aren't doing enough to monitor to make sure that the same people cannot open up new accounts. So they need to figure that out. They need to get better at tightening up their apps and making them a lot more safe. But they're not, because it's all about all the clicks, how many people can download the app, how many people can we get on it. All they want you to do is tick a little box and say you're over 18. Well, like I say, children tick those boxes and say they're over 18 because they don't want to be stuck in children's YouTube land or children's land. They're teenagers. They want to have autonomy and independence.
It's all the same as like 90% of people. When you go on to like buy something online or whatever, and you click that little button that says "I agree to terms and conditions," how many times do you actually read them?
I read them now.
Because I don't. I still don't know what they say.
Yeah. But I mean, we've seen so many times Mark Feely being going round in circles, being convicted and let go, convicted, let go. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, he has now passed away. But there's other people. That. Yeah, I do believe that there's a news report saying that he passed away in a hotel room somewhere. But like I said, Dan has not only been in touch with Mark Feely, and there's proof of that. There's proof that he's in touch with many, many others of names that you will recognise. I'll fill you in all the names later. So, like I said, a lot of these
just
people
quickly,
aren't
CJ.
convicted. Yeah.
Another one that's just popped to my mind was, do you remember us being told about the guy who turned up to meet a child with rope and a
Yes.
shovel?
That was the one that turned up to meet a child, and he turned up in a white van. And inside the white van was a mattress. And he had turned up with rope. He had turned up with a knife. And he had turned up with drugs.
And a shovel.
Yep, and a shovel.
And a bin bag.
Now,
I always remember the bin bag and the
me
shovel.
what you tell me right now what his thought
I don't
process was.
know. I can't.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
like
he
I
was
said-
confronted, and it wasn't actually a child he met that day.
Yeah, it wasn't a child he met that day, thankfully, but that gentleman was, I'll loosely call him that, was convicted. And like I said, all these people have been caught and convicted, but it goes to show you the level of depravity there is out there when we've got people like that getting on to all these platforms and manipulating children when they find out that it's children into an adult deprived mind. They are grooming these children
Just
to meet up with
disgusting.
them, to talk with them, to share images, to receive images, to do all these things. And the only person to blame is the predator, each and every damn time. Now, Dan decided a couple of weeks ago to sit in a live and say how much he really doesn't like me anymore. And
I bet you're heartbroken.
I was absolutely devastated. I really was. I mean, I was just crushed in the bottom of my tippity little toes. But poor little Dan decided he doesn't like me anymore, and he blocked me everywhere he could. And he said that he has my address, and he's coming for me. He knows where I live. Well,
I have your address. I can be waiting for him. I don't mind.
I put my kettle on about 2 weeks ago. I mean, I know he takes his time, but I mean,
that's some cold ass tea.
His tea's kind of cold by now.
Yeah.
So, Dan, if you think I'm worried about you, really not. If you think it's been a challenge taking me on, well, you've got 2 Scottish women here now, Dan. So nobody's ever going to block you in here,
fun.
Dan. I've made it clear. If you ever want to come in to chat, Dan, if this ever gets back to you, or if you're lurking, then, like I said, Dan, anytime you see the StreamYard link, feel free to grab it if you think you can take on more than one Scottish woman, because I guarantee you ain't going to damn win. You couldn't even win with me, but I'd love to see you try with 2.
To be fair, me on a good day when it's not almost 2 a.m, I don't think, I reckon he would be crying within the first 2 minutes.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, he thinks he's all tough and hard, making threats and all the rest of it, when nothing he ever says comes true. I mean, there's not a single thing that comes out this guy's mouth that is even believable. He is such a prolific damn liar. But what
Bad
Dan
Dan, grab the link. Come on. I want to see this. Let's go.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, if somebody can drop the StreamYard link, that would be awesome, because, yeah, if Dan is lurking, he's more than welcome. But I'll tell you, one thing came to my attention by one of the channels the other day, who follows a lot of what Dan does, and make sure that they clip everything, they've got everything recorded, reported, you name it. Well, came to my attention the other day that Dan had a bit of an incident a bit of a time ago where he is grooming a vulnerable autistic male who is a young adult, and while on a stream with this vulnerable male with autism, Dan's towel happened to have another slippage.
I'll quite happily staple it to his fucking chest. At this point, if he wants to keep
Seems
exposing
to have an
himself to
awful-
children, I will just
Yeah.
get super glue or gorilla glue or whatever. Do you know what? I might even just use cement and just
Mhm.
make sure that towel doesn't fucking move.
Pair
Sorry,
of concrete boots.
just cover the fucker in cement. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, and at midnight, I'd definitely like to have you up on my panel sometime.
What we should do, right? We should start hanging all these convicted sex offenders from the trees now. Do it now, then we'll have kick-ass Halloween decorations.
Kick-ass Halloween decorations, and I hear they probably make good wind chimes.
No, but if you do it now, we're at the end of July, so if you start hanging
Yeah.
them from the trees now, by the time the end of October comes around, you've got skeletons. You don't have to buy them from the shop.
Hell yeah,
Good
or do you
point.
have the game?
I see that's been economically viable.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
Cost of living crisis.
Yeah, well, like I said, this Dan seems to think that he can sit and not only speak inappropriately to children, but he's taking advantage of vulnerable young adults with autism and happened to have more shower moments and towel slippages and all the rest of it. And what planet does this absolute asswipe think that it is okay to sit there and not hit that little button on his screen that says turn off camera? Like, it's there for a reason, Dan. It's there for a
Can
reason.
you reach it?
Nobody wants to see it. What you're
Can you
showing,
reach it?
I don't think so. But whatever you're showing, Dan, really nobody wants to see it. There is not enough trauma therapy in the absolute universe that can help people with the scarred images of seeing you doing a towel drop.
Ew.
Like PTSD at its max. Like, I've been through a lot of trauma in my life, Dan, but like seeing you with that towel slippage, like, mate, I'm sorry,
Nope.
but like, no.
Like I'm seeing a counselor over there now.
Nope, I'm out. I'm done.
Yep.
Didn't even have to see it; just the thought of it is counsel
I
time.
was just gonna say, I didn't even see it, and I'm already scheduling an extra appointment a week with my counselor.
Exactly.
Shall I get help now, or shall I just pour bleach in my eyes, or?
I need something. I'm telling you. But it baffles me that he seems to pick the timing of when he has innocent, vulnerable children or young adults in his chat with special needs, where he seems to coordinate the timing of these things to suddenly happen.
What a coincidence.
Very coincidental, Dan. You know, it's not like people are seeing right damn through you.
No.
You know, people see you for what you are, Dan. Like I said earlier, you might not be convicted yet, but you are showing predatory behaviours towards children and vulnerable adults. That is what you're doing. And then you're sitting there pleading victim. Oh, I'm going to move because of the trolls. I'm leaving YouTube forever. Well, I think I've seen you saying you're leaving YouTube about 6 times in the last 3 months.
It's not Heathrow. You don't have to announce your departure.
Yeah,
you can just go.
Yeah.
And don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yeah.
Does anybody else get fat bastard vibes from him?
Austin Powers. Yep.
Yeah. Every time I see
Damn it,
him,
I'll never be able to watch that movie the same again.
Because I also get those vibes from my father. It's fine.
Yeah. So he sits there and he wants to say that everybody going after him or saying anything and pointing out the facts is either a troll or you're a paedophile. Well, no, Dan, we're just calling you out on the bullshit that you're showing everybody. You're a manipulator, you're a liar, you're a fantasist, and you are showing predatory behaviours towards children and vulnerable people. So what it boils down to, Dan, is you're nothing but a piece of slimy shit on the bottom of my shoe.
And in the words of Charlie Girl, you nasty.
and that's giving nasty a bad name. Sorry.
Absolutely.
I just nastified up
This
nasty.
guy is
You know?
vile. Absolutely vile. That wants to sit there and plead this and plead that. 5 years ago, he pleaded that he had cancer. Told everybody he had cancer. Well, there's a live out there that shows his social worker who was coming in to provide him with the care because he can't move around very much because, you know, he's not very mobile. But doesn't mean he's got cancer. And he tried, while this social worker was in his house, creating this narrative that he had cancer. Well, his social worker called him straight out in all his BS and said he was nothing but a damn liar. And the live's still there on many of the pages that are out there that show all of Dan's clips and videos. Now he's claiming he's got cancer again and saying, "No, you can't bully me, I've got cancer." Well, you've been caught out so many times. What is it? What is it? Like, because nobody knows what you're saying anymore, Dan, because you've told that many lies that there's not a believable thing that comes out your damn mouth anymore. And just saying, and I'm going to point this out, don't care how anybody feels about it, going to put it like this: I don't care what you've been through in life. I don't care what your disability is. I don't care what your illness is. I don't care what your mental health is. I don't care if you've been through bereavement. I do not care, because it does not give you a damn hall pass to treat other people like a piece of shit. It does not give you a hall pass to groom, abuse, and manipulate other people.
Nope.
Not in the damn slightest. So you don't get to sit there and plead the victim, Dan, and say, "Oh, this is happening to me and that's happening to me," but still get away with everything that you're doing. Doesn't work like that. You're going to get called out on your shit each and every damn time. You're not a victim, Dan. Never will be. But you want to make yourself a victim. And then you think you can sit there and take me on. Well, quickly shut you down with that one. And now you want to sit there and say, "Oh, you've got my address." Well, put the kettle on 2 weeks ago. I mean, I know you're slow, Dan, but hurry the heck up. You know? You think you want to come and have a confrontation with me, Dan? Fire away. But I know that's all BS because you're all talks. Am I taking 1 ounce of that seriously, Dan? Not even the slightest, tiniest little bit. Am I taking an ounce of that seriously?
Do any of us take anything he says seriously?
No. He's laughable. It is absolutely laughable. Absolute laughable. So, like I said, Dan, if you're about, if this word gets back to him, if he ever wants to grab a link and jump up and think he can face faces, then that is absolutely fine by me. Because I'll tell you, Dan, when I told you, when you confronted me on panel, when I confronted him the first time midnight, he didn't quite realise. Silly sausage. I mean, I felt bad for him. He didn't quite realise, and then he turned round and I said to him, "I'll say 2 words to you, Dan, and that's all I'm going to say." And I knew he'd know the second I said it. So I said, "I've got 2 words for you, Dan. TikTok." And right away he sort of went, "Oh." So it was pointed out to him very, very quickly. Oh, Dan, I think you've just kind of been highlighted by the wrong people.
Yeah. TikTok.
Can you do me one favor though? Can you do me one favor though? If he really does come up here, can you give me like a 30-second warning so I can jump down because I can't be up there.
Not a problem, son. Not a problem.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest, you know? Like,
not a problem. I've got let me see. I've got I think somebody backstage try to get up. But I think I'm only allowed 6 up here if somebody's
From
able to
drop.
jump.
I'm not buzzed.
I can
You
jump.
need
I can
somebody
jump down too if need be.
You need somebody to jump down?
Yeah.
I will.
I'll jump
Let
down if you
Heidi
want.
up quick.
Everybody jump down. Yeah.
It's all right, Charlie. It's all right, Charlie Girls, jump down.
Yeah, who is it?
Oh,
It's me.
As soon as I get into
Yeah.
this. Oh yeah.
I
yeah, that's right.
I can't stay up long. But did you just say he's saying he has cancer again?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fucking shit. That
Yep.
one time I talked on the phone to him, he said that he had like a non-cancerous tumor like on his leg,
Mm-hmm.
like a big huge skin tag or some shit like that. And he told me straight out it's non-cancerous.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's that.
Oh, thank you for filling us in with that. We know it's bullshit anyway because this guy can't. There's not a single word of truth comes out this guy's damn mouth. But yeah, this vile asshole has been found exposed again. Yeah, for
Oh God.
not only speaking to children online, but now I've found out that he has previously been in a chat on a live stream where he had a vulnerable young male adult with autism and he had another towel slippage.
Another one.
Seems to be making a habit of these towel slippages.
It must be that huge fucking skin tag between his legs.
That's about all he's got between his damn legs.
I didn't want to say that's where he told me it was, because he told me that there's no way he could flash anybody because it's so big it covers everything up. And I really didn't want to hear that, but
I really just puked a little bit.
This guy is absolutely vile for the things that he's doing and the way that he acts and the way that he manipulates people. And it is all whitewashing to deflect from who and what he is. He wants to shift the blame onto everybody else. Oh, you're all the bullies. Oh, I've got your address. I'm coming for you, CJ. Okay, Dan. Okay. Whatever.
You know, when you and I first talked and you broke the news, you know, everything you said about him, he had said to me, but he had excuses for everything.
Yeah.
But one thing always dropped up as a big red flag in it. He said that I've told people this before. He said that he wanted to show his mom and aunt or someone this tumor / I'm going to call it a skin tag. And he was in the shower recording himself so he could show his mom and aunt, and he put it on Facebook, not realizing whatever, but you couldn't see anything. And I was like, in my head, I'm going, why the fuck would you put yourself showering on Facebook?
Yeah, he's got excuses for everything that he thinks he can convince everyone with. It is absolutely ridiculous that he thinks that any of his damn excuses are even close to being damn believable. You know, he sits there and says all these things have been chopped up and edited. It's came out of his own damn mouth that he sat there and made comments regarding a 13-year-old child saying to someone, if your girlfriend...
He
Yeah,
said that
it's-
was a female friend of his sitting in the house with him.
Yeah, well, if it was a female friend, he himself, from his own words, which we showed on the live with Jenna a few weeks back, from his own mouth, he said to his friend, if you're dating a 13-year-old girl, then, oh, she doesn't have lovely boobs. He then turned round on a different occasion and turned round to what is a 13-year-old, I think it was a 13-year-old little girl, in his chat on his live stream while he was playing his PS, and he turned round and said to her, show me your fanny.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Now,
sure she was
fanny,
13.
yeah, fanny in the UK, like I've said to
Yeah,
you before, does not refer to butt, it means vagina, two totally different things. So he was referring to a
I didn't,
child's private areas.
and I didn't know that
Yeah, no, I
because
know you didn't, honey.
I had no idea.
See, the thing is, and this is where it pisses me off, because immediately, and I will stand by this 100% each and every time, the second we all found out Dan's name, and I've said this before, and we all took that information to a private group call where we spoke to both Purple, we spoke to Heidi, we spoke to a few other people, and we said, here's the information, here's what's going on. That is exactly the minute where we said, right, let's get it handled in the best way.
And how did I react?
You were mortified, absolutely
Exactly.
mortified.
And then I was accused for bringing a pedophile into Purple's channel.
No, look, there might have been seeds and breadcrumbs, right, that raised people's attention and gave people a sort of red flag. But nobody put those pieces together because we just didn't have enough there to be able to say, you know what I mean, to be able to say, this is what's happening, you know?
Right.
So once we got the full name, as I says, I'm not online every day, but eventually when I seen that full name flag up, I thought, okay, I've got a name. Midnight will tell you, once we get a name like that, we're able to do a lot of
It takes
digging.
minutes.
Yeah, a lot of digging to get access to things that you wouldn't see online. And we were quickly able to establish a lot more information about this guy than could be seen. And when I seen him come into Purple's chat that day, I immediately said to put a message into chat, give me a link.
Yep. I remember
and
that.
I asked for the opportunity. It was me that asked for the opportunity that if this asshole came crawling around again at Purple's, that I would get the opportunity to face him. I wanted to have that confrontation with him to say, you are not welcome and here's damn why, because I have so much fucking proof on you. You ain't wriggling out of this bullshit. And that's what happened. The second he was confronted, he was banned.
Yep. And I never, okay, so it was weird that the guy wore a mask. I'll admit that, you know, and there was a lot of arguments over that. There was a lot of crap said about that. And when people started saying it was a GIMP mask, and I went and looked it up, it does have a reference to as making fun of somebody who is handicapped. You know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm not going to judge people because, and this is before I talk to him, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, because he told us he wore the mask because he didn't want his trolls that follow him followed to Purple's. So, you know, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. You know, I'm not going to, because somebody wears a mask, I'm on, you know, because they don't want to be identified, you know, I get that, whatever. You know, you can't think everybody with something that does something weird is a bad person.
No,
but
you're not responsible for
that coupled with everything else that he said was major. I said the mask coupled with everything else he said about being monitored and such like, it's a massive red flag, especially when you've got history within the hunting community, like CJ and I both do.
Right.
Yeah.
As
See,
soon as
I'm not
CJ
in
told
that.
me about him on the phone, no, I understand that. As soon as CJ told me about the mask, the monitoring, and everything else, I was literally on the phone to her going, red flag, massive
Yeah.
red flag.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I've never been in that community. I
And
don't.
No,
that's
I
it.
understand that.
No, I'm just because so many people have attacked me over this.
Yeah. And you
You
shouldn't have
know.
been attacked. That's the thing.
No.
Nobody had a right to bring you up, to attack you, to go at you, to have anything negative to say about you or
Yeah.
Purple in the damn slightest. You had no clue who this
I
guy
had
was.
no clue.
Did we have red flags? Yes. I mean, the girls will
Yeah.
tell you. I went to them multiple times and said, "Do you know what? I've got a feeling there's things that he's saying, but I can't prove it. I'm putting the pieces together here, but I can't prove anything here to be able to call this guy out to say he is doing what we thought maybe he was doing." And eventually, when we had a name and we were able to then do a lot more digging, we were able to say,
Right.
okay, yep, now we've got proof. Now we can call his ass out. What we will not ever advocate for is calling somebody out without damn proof. Never
Yeah.
will
No.
I ever call somebody out without damn proof. So once we had that proof, we were able to call them out. So people need to back the fuck off of Heidi and Purple and anybody else that they've got a negative thing to damn well say about how this situation was handled. It's not a point scoring match. It's not a race to who exposes what first. And we can all sit there in any situation and say shoulda, woulda, coulda. Point
Well,
It
is,
must be
it
great for all
we
these
also,
do
people in
find
an
out.
ivory tower. Must be great, all these people sitting in an ivory tower looking down, thinking they can judge people. It's
yeah.
bullshit. It's not on.
Well, some of these same people that sit in such critical judgment, right, are also some of
Yeah.
the same people who have gone and thrown allegations out that were completely false just because they thought the shit was funny. It's not funny to sit there and say somebody has child porn. It's not
No.
funny to sit there and say that crap,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you put
Definitely
these
not.
false allegations out there. You know what you're doing is you're putting seeds of doubt in everybody's mind. So yes,
Yeah.
it makes it easier for somebody like him to come in and say, "I've been falsely accused."
Yeah.
Oh, you
Exactly.
don't say. Yeah, we're
mean,
used to that. You know.
looking, yeah, what Tony's done to me and Purple, accusing me of having child porn on my phone, exploiting children, all these lies. So, of course, I'm going to, say, come on, guys, give the person a chance. I don't know him. I don't go to these other channels. I don't follow them. But the minute and like Shining just said, some of these other people making fun of Purple and I because of this, saying we should have known, we should have known, we should have known. They actually knew way sooner, but never told us because they don't like us. But still, yet
Yeah.
they turn it
Again,
around.
that's complete bollocks. Like, doesn't matter who you like, who you don't like. If you get information that someone is a predator or is showing predatory behaviour, you make sure every fucker knows it. You don't keep it to yourself because you don't like someone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's like you
Yeah.
keep a chocolate bar to yourself if you don't want to share it with someone. You don't keep information like that away from people because that could
Yeah.
that could basically ruin a child's life.
Unfortunately,
exactly.
midnight,
And
we've
this,
seen people hold on to that information because they, keep your eyes peeled, keep paying attention, all this kind of stuff. Well, if you know something, say it. Don't sit on
Yeah.
it. Don't hold on
No.
to it. Say it.
yeah, they
Supposed
went
to do
so
the right
far
damn
as to
thing.
say they didn't know, they didn't know, they didn't know, right? Until a certain point when we knew. But then they turn around during the same live, it was during a live, turn around and said, but we tried to tell you, Purple, we tried to come in there and what? Well, right there you contradicted yourself. You said you didn't know. What the hell are you trying to tell somebody then?
Yeah, and they still like having a conversation on Purple's channel yesterday or the day before, and people would say, well, you allowed a pedophile on your channel. No, we didn't fucking let a pedophile on our channel. We didn't know at the time, but as soon as we found out, he was banned.
We were gone.
He was gone.
But look what they just did. Okay, even after all this, do you think anybody's learned a lesson? No, absolutely they have not. Well, certain people have not. Maybe some have.
Yeah, ink, I
But
know it's
you
happened
know,
more than once.
but Six Up and JBT and we Ewok, whatever the heck her name is, Frosty, whatever, I don't know. Sat there and said that there was a porn drop on Purple's channel and she didn't take it down and delete it out, which was a complete lie.
Yeah.
But that was what they're still festering out there. It's okay for them to lie, and they were laughing the whole time about it. Why are you sitting here putting seeds of doubt out there? That's exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
A blatant lie, and you're putting seeds of doubt in people's minds. So that if that were to happen, not Purple would do this, but I mean, you know, somebody did have something like that happen and they didn't take it down, it's still sitting up there. Somebody's going to end up doing that probably. Nobody's going to believe you if it really happens.
Exactly.
And you know, I hate to say it, but for a while there was a couple people in chat that would get all uptight about certain men up on the panel and stuff like that. And because of my heart on my sleeve, when I see what they're saying in chat, I'm going with what they're saying now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as it's hard,
I hate to
like,
say it, I can't trust my own judgment. You know what I mean? Because of the way I am,
the thing.
I have
When
to.
anybody comes on to a panel, nobody can tell who you are. We don't background check. We're not psychic. We can't tell when anybody starts coming around or joining our channels or, you know, joining our discords. We don't know who these people are. But what we can do is watch out for the red flags, pay attention to your gut feelings, and be mindful about what information we share with people that we don't know. Like we said about Michael Dula, we had the unfortunate experience of first-hand seeing how he groomed and manipulated an adult into believing that he was so innocent that this person added him into a chat that we were all in. And when we seen his name pop up, it clicked for a few people who he was, and immediately, within literally the quickest time possible, he was removed from the chat and his criminal record was put into chat saying, here's who this guy is. Hell no, what the heck's going on? Now, the person who added him into the chat was so manipulated and coerced and groomed into believing that this guy was in, that she thought he was safe. You know, and we all felt very violated at having him being added into the chat. But this guy has been able to do this and manipulate people online into believing he's innocent, same as Dan's trying to do. All these people are drawing attention online, trying to claim innocence and all the rest of it. Do we know who these people are? Well, unless you're like Michael Dilla, where he's a convicted sex offender, where we can shout it from the damn rooftops, then no, you don't come with a criminal register, being on the sex offenders register. We don't have anything to say what you are. But if you're showing signs of predatory behaviour, if you're showing signs of abuse towards females, where you're being very aggressive towards
anyone,
red flags to say, hell no, we ain't having someone who has been abusive in any kind of way around any of us. And to me, when people found that out with Dan, everyone done the immediate right thing. Were there signs? Of course there were, but we all can sit and say woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we didn't have all the damn facts. The second we did, that's when it counts. It's what people do with information when they find it out and they're faced with the facts and the full information. And we can categorically say that the second that Purple and Yaya were told everything that I knew and the girls knew, immediately
I was ready to throw up.
took
I was
action.
sick. I was just mortified. I was just like, oh God, here I was standing up for this guy, and they were, people saying there's red flags, whatever, and I'm like, oh shit.
And we all want to have good hearts. We all want to be able to look at someone we don't know when we meet them, and they might come across as a bit strange or a bit of an oddball or whatever. But we all have a place, I think, if we're decent human beings, where we want to see the best in people and not judge something. So we try to sometimes suffocate those feelings. We try to bury them down when we get those feelings because we want to see the best in people. And that can be a good and a bad quality, but at the same time, what do we do if we just don't know? We do
Yep.
know, we do the right thing. So instead of judging people for what they don't know and criticising people and saying, oh, but we told you this or we said this, but then the next second you're saying, oh, we didn't know. Well, and then there's more comments saying, hold on to your hats, more information later. Well, if you've got information, why aren't you like spitting it out? The second we knew, we put that out there. The second we knew,
No.
it was
And I just want to say, I don't know if you saw a couple minutes, and I'm not picking on anyone in particular here. I'm just raising awareness. If you saw that, it was put in chat that someone Googled, Cheesy Mary Googled pedophiles on the internet, and it says they cannot be banned. You cannot ban them from the internet. Maybe by Google standards, they don't. But I do know for a fact, if you are convicted in a court of law here in the United States, 90, depending on the severity, I should say, of the attack, it will be put in their sentencing that they cannot be on the internet. And
well, I think
go ahead.
Hers is UK. They are different than America.
Yeah, here. She's in Canada.
Speaking for the UK, 90% of convicted predators do get told that they're not allowed to own any device that can connect to the internet, such as games consoles, laptops, PCs, mobile phones, whatever. But realistically, it doesn't stop them. I've seen predators have their devices taken off of them, getting out of the court building and walking into a mobile phone shop and buying a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, there's no way of monitoring it. That's the problem. That the courts can issue these things and say they shouldn't be online, they shouldn't be accessing these apps. But who's monitoring it? Are the apps monitoring it? No.
Well,
because
how do the
we proved
apps
that
know?
with Michael Dula. Exactly. There's no way of policing it. There's no policing in any way for making sure that things like this don't happen. So when the convicted sex offenders like Michael Dula come on, make money, they're on YouTube, they've got a platform, they're creating a narrative, they're using that to manipulate more people. But yet, under the terms and standards, if they're not meant to be considered, each app's got their own terms of standards, but if that particular app says, yep, no sex offenders allowed, then how can they tell when you sign up? Are you giving like your ID to this app and saying, here, look, go search me, I'm not a sex offender? How do they know? They don't. There's no way of them knowing or policing it. You're simply checking the damn box. That's all you're doing. You're checking a damn box. I'm safe to be here. I'm over 18. Let me in.
Yeah, but with the laws being there, in here in the States, they're not supposed to be on the internet.
Nope.
No.
Maybe,
but it's an easy program that you could do. I wish I was a better computer guru, but I'm sure you have the sex registry. Okay, guys, we know everything can be linked together, right?
Yeah.
Why not link that into the internet system? Go to all the big, Google, Fire, whatever you use, right? Most people use Google, so that would take care of a lot of it right there. And Google's hooked up to it, and if that name comes up, boom, there you go.
But they won't do that because they'll say it's Big Brother watching, it's policing people, it's taking people's rights to
You know
free-
what?
Look-
They lost
privacy
their
and
damn rights
freedoms
when they
away.
sat
Oh,
there
I
and
totally
Yep,
agree.
exactly.
they lost their rights when they took that innocence from the child. They lost their damn rights.
Yep.
But that's the excuse
Yep.
they come up with every damn time. It's about their rights.
But see,
Well,
there's
fuck their
there is an
rights.
easy there. I mean, there. I was going to say there's an easy fix, but there's not. There's no easy fix to this, but there is a fix to it. Like shining, what you're just saying is 100%. It's fact. Like there's nothing. I'm getting frustrated, so I'm losing my train of thought. But there's no system out there. It's easy to fix. Like, how do we track? Well, we monitor. We if they get a cell phone, then they have an IP address. That IP address is linked to whatever the fuck system there needs to be. And if they go on these sites and shit that they cannot be on, it instantly flags them, and they get reported. And we like that's one thing that I've been like working on myself, like
Yeah.
trying to get the system worked out to get a department in place in each county to monitor sex offenders after they get released off probation and parole, because there's nobody to fucking watch them, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
I think what we've
I think
seen
we-
with
I
things
Well,
like that,
it-
if they monitored the IP address, it wouldn't work because from what we've
No.
seen is all they need to then do is go and buy a separate device, have a VPN. All they need to do is go through Tor or something else, and they mask it. And then how do they tell? So there's
Jenna
no way
wants
of
to know if you
telling
just
that.
kicked her off.
No,
Where
I
is she?
don't think so. Did you kick her? No,
No,
listen though.
She
Listen.
fell off and went
You
boom,
know,
get your ass back up.
that whole argument of it's against their rights, bullshit. You're on the
Bullshit.
sex registry. You don't have a right,
You
honey.
don't have rights. No,
No,
they don't have rights.
you have a right to let us. You have a right to let us know everything, every last little fucking thing about you that you're doing,
Yeah.
that you're going
Yeah.
to do. We have the fucking right to know all of this about you because you gave
Yeah.
all that shit up the very first time you victimized the child. Period.
Yeah,
Point blank.
and
Personal.
and
End of
as
fucking
long
story.
as long as they're on that registry, they are not allowed to live so close to a school. They're not allowed to be, around a park with
but
children.
they
There's all
do.
these stipulations to them, right? I
They
know,
do.
but
At
I'm
least
saying
you
you
Yeah,
still
yeah.
got to
They
put
can't
it
go
in
around. They
place.
can't go around
stipulations.
daycares,
Yeah, and if
pediatric
they're
hospitals.
caught,
They can't go around any of that shit.
they can be punished for it. They can go pick them up. There are consequences for it. Right now, we don't have any way for them to even face their consequences.
Here, I'll
Look,
tell
this
you
is how
what,
hard. This
we should
this
chip
this is how
those
hard.
bastards
Sorry.
like we chip animals. We should chip those bastards, and there's an alarm that goes off anytime they come near an electrical device like a phone, a computer, laptop. There should
Wi-Fi.
be something. The alarm goes off anytime they go near them.
Picks up that
Yeah.
signal
Right,
that they're on the internet.
I'm not
Phone.
sure if I've misunderstood, right? But in America, are your convicted offenders not allowed near schools and stuff? Is that what you
Yep.
said?
That is correct.
Right.
That is
Is-
correct.
Yeah.
Over
That's correct.
here,
That's
you're
correct.
not going to believe this. I'm about to blow your mind when I tell you this, and CJ can back it up. Over
Uh-huh.
here, the police will think nothing of housing a predator opposite a school
Not in the
after being
slightest.
convicted. They will
Okay.
house them near play parks. There's in the street that I live in, there is literally a block of flats, apartments, whatever you call them, which is literally known as the pedo block, which
Yeah,
is
it's where they house
six
all
different
sex
apartments, and all the sex
Mm-mm-mm.
offenders are in there. There is constantly people protesting outside. There's been TikToks, there's been YouTube videos on it. There's been police. There's never not police cars sitting outside it,
There's
Right here. Right.
and it's
Go
opposite a
ahead.
play
Go ahead.
park.
Go ahead.
here they
Yeah.
like, I don't know about every other state. I'm going by what here in my state. We have I've talked about it before. We have what they call the Green Bay Crime Report, and every day they put people that were arrested the day before and what they are being charged with. Okay, and all the registered sex offenders are in red. Now, they are not allowed to be moved within so much feet of a school, playground,
A daycare,
daycares,
a,
whatever.
a
But
pediatric hospital. Yeah.
but if you were to go on the website where it tells you where the pedophiles are around your home, and
Yep.
there's a school, you will know exactly. There's so many still around the area. They're having a problem here of where they should put them.
Yeah.
And the police, when they're released from prison or jail, they will put out a flyer with the person's name, everything about him, including where they're going to be residing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
I wish it was like that
But-
here.
here, if you were to go stand in front of that person's house and yell, "A pedophile lives here," you can be arrested.
See, we're slightly the opposite here with that.
Right? We were talking about that, CJ.
Now, I'll tell you this.
We are
Here,
not allowed.
We are allowed to protest. We're allowed to stand
We are
outside
not- no.
someone's property as long as you are not classed as creating breach of peace and you're standing in public property. You have the right to have a peaceful protest.
That's who. That's
But
It's
if it
because-
crosses beyond peaceful to a non-peaceful protest, then that's when the police will immediately shut you down.
because in the United States, believe it or not, they have rights too.
Yeah.
It's because it's plain and simply because they support them. Here's what people don't understand. In my hometown where I live right now, there is a middle school / junior high school. And there is, I told CJ about this too before. There is a set of double apartments. I believe there's 8 on each side, 1 floor, 1 level, just little shitty ass ghetto apartments. The only thing that separates this apartment complex from this junior high / middle school is a see-through chain link 6-foot fence. When you click on it, at least 3/4 of the people that are living in this apartment complex come up as little red dots on the offender registry map. They live within feet of the school and they get away with it. Why? Because there's no fucking department. There's no department to see to it that they're not that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and not doing what they're not supposed to be doing. Period. Until that happens, this is how it's going to be because they're running out of fucking room to put them. There's so many of them out there. That's what people don't understand. There's so many. Just because we're rapidly approaching 1 million registered sex offenders on the National Sex Offender Registry in the United States. Well, 1 million's not that many. Some people would say 1 million is a whole shit ton. Some would say, but the actual numbers is probably there should be. That's only 1 million that have been caught, went to court, convicted, went to prison, got out, registered. That's not counting all the ones that haven't been convicted yet.
Statistic.
It blow your fucking mind.
Alone, 1 million offenders who have been caught. That's not based, like you said, on the people who have not been caught. But just think about this for a second. If there's 1 million approximately sex offenders registered, if each sex offender has minimum 3 victims each, how many victims?
That's 3 million. 3 million innocent children. When the statistics actually come out that any abuser over the age of like 36, I believe, has anywhere between 15 to 40 victims in that lifetime. That's 40 million.
For every predator, there is multiple victims usually behind it.
Rock,
I don't care whether it's 2 or 2 million. It's too many. But whether it's 2 people or 2 million people, it's far too many.
Like I like to say, one child is one too many. One child is one too many.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
It
Like
certainly
I'm
is.
passionate about this. I'm passionate about this shit, man. I will live the rest of my life doing whatever I possibly can
Yeah,
to take these fuckers down. Like,
I
well,
agree.
they got to have jobs. I don't give a fuck that the rest of your life is going to be a struggle. I don't care where you're going to live. I don't care what you're going to eat or if you can eat. I don't give a shit if you're living in a fucking box. You deserve to be there, dude.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
care that your life is a
Hell
struggle,
yeah.
dude. I don't give a fuck. You know what my life is like struggling because of what
Exactly.
some motherfucker did to me?
Yeah.
Every
But
victim.
piece
Like I
of
was
wood
just
with
like I was
barbed
just
wire
telling
on it
Nightmare.
underneath the bridge. It's still too good for them.
Yeah. Like I was telling Midnight a minute ago, I was like, every one of us have fucking tears, man. But you know what? That's what builds us. That's what makes us who we fucking are. And you know what? It's time, you guys. It's time to make a fucking difference in this world.
It is.
See, I was always told
We need to do something.
that crying about it was something to be ashamed of. That's why
Yeah.
that's why I said to you, like, I can't tell my story on your channel without crying. Because
No, that's
I've bottled
fine.
it up.
And like I told you, I'll cry
It
right
took me
along
the
with you.
best
I'll
part of
cry right along with you.
10 years for me to be able to talk about it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, CJ knows the whole story
Yeah.
from the start to the finish.
I know, honey.
But it's one of them ones where I like to think that 19 years on, it's made me a better person. Because
Yeah.
I've not stopped fighting since that day.
Yeah. I think, and it's the best statement I think I'll live with till the day I die. And I think that's why Phoenix represents me so damn well as my spirit animal, because I always say when you've been through abuse, you as a survivor have already walked through and faced the fires of hell. You have walked through those damn flames. You have survived that pain, that torture, that hurt from those fires of damn hell, and you have survived it. So no matter what the world throws at us afterwards, we become resilient. We become hardened, where we're able to look at things like this and say, you know what, hell the heck no. And we become advocates for change, where we want to then use that voice to create change where change is needed, to discuss the topics that people don't want to talk about, because it's only in doing that change is going to get damn created. Because these people are prolific, it's not going to change. I mean, like we spoke about earlier, these people get sentenced, they get put in prison for a little while. Okay, you've missed a few years of your life, whatever. You get out, you go onto your register. Well, apparently you get to check out of that register unless it's a lifelong registry, which it should be for everyone. But for those who aren't lifelong, you get to sign a little document at the end of, say, 10 years, like you, Michael Dilla, where you're able to then check out after 10 years and say, well, you know, I've got a clean slate now. I'm not on the register.
Yeah.
Nobody can check me up. So what are you waiting on, Michael? Are you waiting on your 10 years running out so that you're not getting
Right.
flagged up? Are you going to set up a new little life? Are you going to try and move on and create a new life where you can make yourself out to be something you're not and then start it all back up again? What's your plan?
Over my dead body.
Exactly. And that's the problem when it's not a
Well,
lifelong registry.
I got this little. Yeah, exactly. But I got this little warning for Michael. There's this thing called I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but I'm not sure if he has either. It's called the Freedom of Information Act, bro. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You will be your own demise, bro.
Oh,
You will
we're
be your
really
own fucking
familiar
demise.
with that one,
Because
don't worry.
have you? Because I will petition every fucking piece of paper from your court trial, and I will put every single fucking page of it out, page by page by page. Then deny that shit.
100%.
Like I said, bow out now, and disappear.
Yeah.
100% legit.
Because we're not going to
But
stop.
I'm gonna get ready for dinner.
Okay, honey.
midnight. I look forward to your email. CJ, thank you for letting me come up here and voice my opinion. And
No
I back
problem.
every one of you. I back every one of you lovely women on here, 100%. And being the only man up here on this panel, I tell you what, I feel real special, and I appreciate you
You did
guys
well.
having my back as well. So,
You should
You're
feel
awesome.
special, buddy. We love you though.
thank
We
you,
love you.
thank you,
I just put
and I'll see you
put a
guys all
new
here
app
around.
on my
Take-
phone.
Okay, honey.
I just put the
Okay.
app on my phone where it'll tell you where they live.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I live like you can a block from the high school, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within the radius of me.
That's
And
ridiculous.
we're out, and we're actually out like in the country. We're a suburb outside of the Green Bay area, so it's a newer subdivision, and that's where a lot of the problems also are coming from. That there are too many sub towns, little villages, whatever you want to call them, around Green Bay that don't want them anymore in their areas. So it becomes a fight where they're going to place.
Yeah. And that's the problem we're going to have all over, no matter what part of the world you're in. It's what do you do with them, once they're released from prison, because nobody wants somebody like that on their damn doorstep. So
well,
how do you monitor them?
We know we have the bay near us that goes into Lake Michigan, right? So maybe if there's a little island off
there with an X marks the spot,
put them all out on an island in the Lake Michigan or something. I don't know.
Why can't we just put them under the water with concrete boots on?
I know that would be good as well. Yeah,
couple of sandbags around their neck.
Yeah, throw them in the ocean with concrete boots. Let them be shark bait.
Shark bait.
At the end of the day, I think when you look at all these people, especially with Michael Dula and things like that right now, it's baffling my brain how he can earn money off the back of missing children, claiming to be able to contact their spirits. He's re-abusing vulnerable, innocent children for financial gain.
My son's
and I find that twisted. Oh, bless. I find that really, really twisted.
Dree said, no, Heidi, they'll float towards me. No, Dree, if there's an island out there, and a little island, you can put them on. I don't want to float them towards you.
Put an X marks the spot and it'll be no more. I mean, these guys get to check out, and females, because we can't forget that there's female predators out there also. But if you're a predator, you should not be able to check out of a sex offenders register after so long. You don't get to stop being a sex offender. Your victims don't get to stop being a damn victim. You don't get to stop being a sex offender. You don't get to check out like that. So that logic is so backwards, it is unflippin' believable.
Sorry. My cat just got a claw on me. I should say my son's cat.
Yeah.
Found a new home on my bed.
Yeah.
And just reached out and stuck a claw on me.
But like I said, if everybody wants to go and check out all the links that have been put in chat throughout the live with his channel and see what he stands for and he represents. And if everybody wants to, like I said, look at the sex offenders registry information that we've put on the channel and see for themselves, they'll see this guy is convicted of abusing a 6-year-old through images or videos, and a 14-year-old through images and videos. And he has been convicted. He has been found guilty. He has since been released from prison, and he is now on the sex offenders register. He is now running a paranormal channel, using the cases of missing children to link to a spirit box, which in my opinion is tarnishing those cases and those missing children with his bullshit. Because like I said many times throughout this life, if you're of a dark energy, there is no way in heck you will get near a white light of an innocent child in spirit, ever.
Definitely not.
That's
No.
just my personal belief. So you portraying that you can connect to missing children when you've done what you've done, I'm sorry. But there is so much light that doesn't allow Satan's damn sword through the damn door. So you ain't getting no chance of reaching no damn white light.
I agree. Whenever
And
you
to
get
all
done, I would
these
like to say something.
yeah, and to all these subscribers out there, please stop drinking the damn Kool-Aid. Don't come over here leaving comments defending this asshole, because they'll be deleted immediately, because I do not stand for a nonce apologist. And that's what we'll call you in the UK. If you stand by and you support a sex offender when the proof is there of who this person really is, then you are a nonce apologist. What that means is that you will be prepared to rationalise, make excuses, and justify the behaviours and actions of a convicted sex offender. Tell me that's not what you're all doing. You are lining the pockets of this sex offender by watching his content. Every time you click on a video and you watch those videos, you are lining the damn pockets of a sex offender. Every time you have a private reading with this guy, you're lining the damn pockets of a sex offender.
Private anything with this guy gives me PTSD.
Yeah. Like, have
That's
some
that,
damn
no.
bloody morals, people. You want to say before I shut down, Jenna?
I do. I think that we all, I mean, I know that people sit over there and support this guy. He's a piece of crap. You can't sit there and say that the man is innocent.
No.
You don't plead guilty if you're innocent. That's something you don't do. People that are not in the United States, you need to know that if you cannot afford an attorney, you will be court appointed attorney. That means that the court will appoint you legal aid. You do not have to plead guilty. This man said that he pled guilty because he could not afford an attorney. No way in hell. Okay. So for all those over there supporting him, saying, "Oh, he's innocent," just think about if that was your children. We need to think about children. There are so many children that are being hurt, messed with daily, trafficked daily. See something, you say something. This stuff needs to
100%.
stop. It needs to stop. I mean, we don't have to all stand together, but we can all stand together for the right cause. And the right cause is our children.
Exactly.
Just do your research on people. And I'm sorry, Mr. Dula, you're a piece of shit in my book. How dare you ever say, "Don't believe a child"? See, pieces of crap like you don't deserve to be nowhere on this earth but in water somewhere.
Amen.
That's all I had to say. I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine, honey. I'm about to put a link into chat. If you give me a second. If I put this into your inbox, Jenny, can you share this in chat, please?
Yeah, I can.
There's a missing person report just come up. Jen's going to share the link into chat. It's a missing person called Carly Russell. She was last seen last night around 8:20 p.m. leaving work. She stopped close to the mile marker 11, which is near Galleria Mall flyover at exit 10. for HWY 150. A reward's been offered of $20,000 and $5,000 from Crime Stoppers for any information leading to her whereabouts.
It's on that TikTok thing. And thank you for sending it. I seen who sent it. Thank you so much.
So if we can please share that out and highlight that, please, it would be much appreciated. And get the word out there while it's fresh that, you know, this person's missing. Let's get the word out there, get it spread, and do what we can to get this lady found.
Yeah.
But I thank you all for coming tonight and supporting. It's been a bit of an emotional, passionate one tonight because I think we're all a bit amped up, but the audacity of this guy and what he's doing in the name of missing children. So if we can, as I say, hit the like button on the way out, it'd be much appreciated. And I thank you all for coming. And I'll...
You can't make me leave.
For having us. And also at midnight, it's
I'm not
nice
leaving.
meeting you.
Thank you, you too. I don't know what CJ's talking about. I ain't going anywhere.
CJ, nice. Okay. All right. CJ, she's not going nowhere. Midnight's not going nowhere.
She's staging a protest.
I'm having a sit-down protest. I can't stand up. I've got a broken foot.
I know, I've just got over my broken foot and you've just went and broke yours. We're an awful pair.
I don't know.
But I thank you all for joining me up on panel and for everybody's input and opinions in a really tough topic and getting the message out there. So please like, share, get the message out there, and let's try and raise a bit of awareness that this guy is still taking advantage of and exploiting missing children's cases for financial gain when he's a registered sex offender. Right. So let's get that message out there. I thank you all for coming, and I'll end this with the intro/outro. And I'll catch you all later.
I love you all. And I'm going to jump down. So love you, ladies, and we'll see you around.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Well, I'll speak to you lovely lot on the next live. Hopefully we'll have another live coming up in the next week or two. And I'll catch you all on the flip side. So thank you all for coming.
My hands stable, I feel able to turn the tables, I could do this. Just keep moving, keep your hands up, stupid. I feel lucid, a new viewing. I can see the end, I can see my future, I can view it. It's right there for the taking. Everything I've ever wanted, dreams are just waiting. I just gotta fight for it, willing to die for it, willing to like soreness, I just need to hike for it. I'm standing up cause I've had enough. I won't give up on the chance. As long as I'm breathing, I'm not retreating. I could be bleeding, I'll take a beating and keep on proceeding. I'm not fatiguing, cause once I enter the ring, I'll be undefeated. Defeat. I got everything I need to be the greatest I could be. Watch out, I'm here now. Big mood, no doubts. Big moves, big mouth. Hit hard, knockout. I come from a different pedigree. Destiny, don't mean anything. I make everything in my life come to life. Manifest, see the light. Intuition, be my guide. This is how I have survived. I'm standing up cause I've had enough. I won't give up on the chance. As long as I'm breathing, I'm not retreating. I could be bleeding, I'll take a beating and keep on proceeding. be undefeated.